What, you couldn't get your mom out of your room?
Yeah, and she has a friend over. They wanted
Oh,
they wanted to be in it, and I said, "Mom, this is the guys' time."
In tears,
mom-
you said that.
Was your mom's friend on Seinfeld?
Yeah, how'd you know?
Just a feeling.
Oh, because I told you about
Hey,
her.
what do you mean?
There's a
She was
Seinfeld
on-
actor in this.
She was
movie.
on like 10 episodes. My mom's friend. She was in this movie that we watched.
There's a couple. There's a couple
Zandali,
Seinfeld actors in this movie. There's
Nick Cage.
Well, there's Mr. Pitt, of course, he's quite different than the Mr. Pitt you know from Seinfeld. He's a little
Who's Mr.
sexier.
Pitt?
Elaine's boss.
No, in the movie.
Oh, he's the old lady's boyfriend.
Oh. How do you say the name of the movie?
See what I was doing there?
Zatarans.
Mm-hmm.
The movie is called Zatarans.
No, Zatterall? Zaddy?
Yeah,
I think it's Zandalee.
Zandali.
It's Zandali. It's
Yeah.
Zaddy Lee.
It's the name of it's a titular character. Emphasis on
Literally.
the tit part of that word. Let's face it, you see a lot.
The titular tits.
Yeah, and a titular tits, exactly. So there's Mr. Pitt, and Judge Reinhold, of course, the close talker, very famous one episode character of Seinfeld.
Who's he in the movie?
He's the fucking main guy.
Oh,
Thierry,
always
Thierry
forget-
Martin.
Yeah, I
Thierry-
always forget that
ooh.
actor's name.
I like that name, Thierry, like Thierry.
They had interesting names in the movie.
Yeah, got that Cajun sauce on it. And then there's also Marissa Tomei, who was also on an episode of Seinfeld. Just, I like making the Seinfeld connections when I see
Must
any
have been
movie.
the same casting.
Yeah, probably. There's a lot of Seinfeld Twin Peaks crossover as well, by the way.
One of the actors in this movie is in Twin Peaks.
Mr. Pitt.
The titular tits, Zandalee.
Oh, right. Of course. She's Laura Palmer? No, she's like the bad girl, right?
No,
she's the
she's
corpse.
on.
I haven't seen Twin Peaks.
She's
That's what I'm talking.
You say the
She's the
bad
bad girl.
She's the soap opera actress on the TV who is playing like a version of Laura Palmer.
I see. Yeah, I always get incredibly sleepy and tired when I watch Twin Peaks, and I can never get past like 2 episodes.
Same. I don't think I've got past 4 episodes.
I really want to. I want like to see what the all the fuss is about, and I want like cool dream logic, creepy stuff. But Jesus Christ,
It's hypnotic.
yeah, I want like a hypnotic, but yeah, it's like too hypnotic, I guess.
Yeah.
I gotta hide myself.
I don't think it's good. I think everybody's wrong, and it's a really bad show.
The original, the first season on ABC.
Yeah. No, I'm joking. It's good. I enjoyed watching it, but I never got far enough to get to the weird stuff.
I think
just
Twin
watch
Peaks
Fire
has-
Walk with me. That's what I did, and I thought that was good. But also, like, it was pretty slow, and I got very sleepy watching it.
We'll do that on the episode. We'll do an episode on Fire Walk with Me. It's a good movie.
Never heard of it.
Speaking of good movies, I saw Birds of Prey recently, and William was really talking a lot
Oh.
of shit about that.
I just watched it with my dad.
Yeah,
Is that
the
why you
movie's
watched
good.
it?
I called it
Yeah,
unwatchable.
I wanted to.
You gave it like 2 stars.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I gave it 3.5 stars.
Oh, I could have swore.
William hasn't rated it. I checked. I wanted to see what
He hasn't
bullshit
watched
he
it.
was trying to
I haven't
pull.
finished it. It was so bad I turned it off.
It's the problem is the humor is lame, and Harley Quinn is a really bad. I think it's a bad character. I think Margot Robbie is like miscast in it.
I think she was great. in it.
No, I didn't like her.
I think
She's
she
like
had
too
a lot
broad.
of. I think she had like a lot of Jim Carrey.
She also
vibes.
doesn't. I don't like her doing that voice. It doesn't seem like she's like too tall to have like a cutesy little candy striper voice that Harley
She's
Quinn
crazy,
has.
dude. Harley Quinn is crazy. She got felon pushed into a vat of chemicals that made the Joker crazy.
That made her talk like a candy striper.
No, I think she just had that accent from old Batman animated series.
Yeah, that's why she has that voice, but I don't think it works with Margot Robbie.
What is
Journey
that
Smollett
voice?
is amazing in that movie, I thought. For a comic book movie, she's like good.
Is that like a New York voice from the 50s?
Yeah, it's like a 50s.
That's not
or
a.
it's like it's like a film
flapper.
noir voice, flapper voice.
It's
Yeah,
from the 20s.
It's not a real accent, right? It's like people
It's like
made
Betty
it up.
Boop.
oh, it's like a woman's
No, it's a
voice
real
from
accent.
New York or like Jersey or something. I don't
It's a
know.
dumb whore accent.
Well, just
Like the kind of girl, like the girl Fatty Arbuckle murdered. That's probably how she sounded. She's like,
Fatty
you want to go in?
Arbuckle?
You want to go in the hotel room with a Coke bottle and me?
Yeah. Wait, she had a Coke bottle in her.
Wow, you guys really don't know anything about movies. So Fatty
I know
Arbuckle.
that Fatty Arbuckle killed somebody.
I don't know who Fatty Fatty Armbuckle?
Arbuckle, like John Arbuckle, Garfield.
Now you're talking his language.
So
Right.
Fatty
Like the
Arbuckle was a
comic, like the
giant
cat?
movie star, okay? And in the early, he was
Farley
a silent movie
character.
star, like a comedian, like a Charlie Chaplin type.
It's like
or
a Chris Farley of the silent era. Big fat guy.
Oh,
Who are the
That's
guys,
his
the
only-
skinny and fat guy comedy
Laurel and
duo?
Hardy.
Yeah, he's like what? Who's
He's
Hardy?
like Hardy, yeah.
Hardy, right?
Stan Laurel
So-
and Charlie Chaplin are.
This was a giant scandal. He shoved a Coke bottle in a girl's vagina and she died. And he
was there?
She died
arrested for
from it?
murder.
Well, it had Mentos in it too, so she exploded.
She like rocketed out of
She
out of the
just-
room.
He's orbiting somewhere around the moon.
But the true,
It's
the
true,
reality
it's true,
is he was
folks.
probably just masturbating her with a bottle.
Oh,
Jesus, dude.
And then back then they were so
But what? She died from that?
uptight.
that
Well,
she
the-
died.
Something ruptured
Historians
or
now
whatever?
don't think it actually killed her. They think Fatty Arbuckle got a raw deal.
Oh. But wait, how'd she die then? An overdose of something?
Old
or-
age.
I don't know.
she
She
lived
never
a long,
died.
comfortable life and
Yeah.
died after that.
She's still alive.
all right. We don't know, so that's okay.
Still
It's
alive.
okay that we
walking
don't know.
around with a bottle hanging out of her.
We got to look this up and maybe talk about it on the next one because it's
Yeah, we'll
it's
do
an
a
interesting case.
So, all right, we've already got 2 other episodes lined up: Firewalk with Me and Vagina Bottle.
Yeah,
Well,
it's a good title.
maybe they
for
can
it,
tie in together because Laura Palmer.
Which
also
end?
died tragically.
I need to know which end.
Yeah,
Lid on or you
Ooh,
getting sound?
you open it. It's a twist off.
That's a great
Um,
question, Ryan. Because
Which
you
end?
would assume you wouldn't think that the part you sip from would be enough to kill a person, but if Fatty Arbuckle is just jamming the blunt base of a Coke bottle, that could do some damage.
And I mean,
Yeah.
well, if the lid's off and you're using the neck and the lid's off, or the where you sip from, or chug, however you want to drink it, that could cause like a suction thing and like pull something out, intestines or something.
I remember there was I used to do a trick. It's really hard actually, but my cousin like showed me how to do it. Of
Put a Coke bottle up your ass.
yeah. the bottom end first.
Hey guys, want to see a trick?
Yeah, my cousin
Watch out-
Ian
look
is
how-
really good at.
Look how I
these.
can open this
Not that.
bottle of Coke.
He sets a full bottle of Coke on the ground and then climbs up on a chair and just
Squats on
cannonballs his ass onto the. No, you
Ouch.
jump like 3 feet up,
Damn.
cannonball it,
Yeah.
give it a little twist.
And then you like
As
you,
I'm
you,
going,
like, turn it
falling.
around. You turn it around and then pour.
Yeah, in my ass. I
You
turn
do
it.
a
It's like
cartwheel, yeah.
it's like how
serve,
girls
like-
tie a cherry stem in there with their tongue. I
Yeah.
turn the bottle around inside
You
my
butt
ass
chug
and
a
then,
Coke.
and then pour it out and,
Oh,
and pour out like glasses
Gross.
for people that I'm showing. Everybody has
That'd
a
be
drink.
amazing.
That's a
It's
good.
like, it's like
trick. I
the
mean, it's what we
fountain.
can do.
Everybody's got a champagne glass and it fountains down
Yeah.
Yes.
into everybody.
It's
That's
like
fancy.
it's a wedding.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people are
Nicolas
like, you can
Cage
put-
does that
You
trick.
can put liquor in this. You're
Yeah.
gonna make this drink a little.
I spike it with a flask, doing the exact same thing. No, the trick was you'd grip the neck of a bottle really hard, and then you'd like an empty bottle, and you'd slam your palm onto the opening, and it would blow the bottom out. And it was pretty cool, actually. I was able to do it like twice.
I just had like a visceral, when you said blow the bottom out and did that thing with your hands, a visceral memory from a few weeks ago, the last time I had Chipotle.
This was the burrito like hitting your sphincter.
No, man, just the fire lava crap that happened 8 hours after.
That's not supposed to happen with Chipotle. They're
Oh,
supposed to
dude,
be...
but you're not eating it right if you're not blowing it out your ass. Like,
Oh, I see.
bottom
That's
of
like
You're a
your
mission
vegetarian,
accomplished.
Ryan.
That's your
So I'm
mission
curious.
accomplished moment.
They have sofritas there.
The queso?
I don't eat queso.
Right. So what is giving you diarrhea?
Oh, dude, I drink their hot sauce.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and it's not diarrhea. I mean, it's mostly a joke. but-
This is vegan. He's got to do vegan compensation for things because he can't get queso.
Yeah, but hot lava.
William loves
man,
having
it's
diarrhea.
great.
One of William's
When I go to
favorite things is to
Chipotle-
get diarrhea.
I'm looking up queso recipes today to buy ingredients to make my own queso this week.
You just need cheese.
You should just eat it only queso and then
Just melt some cheese.
yeah.
Put ground beef in it. That's a little secret. And a little beer. Pour a little beer while it's melting. Some ground beef, cheese, lots of hot sauce. Almost more hot sauce than cheese. And
All
more
you need
beer.
is-
Actually, take the cheese out. Just keep the beer and the hot sauce.
You
Yeah.
just keep the beer.
No, and then you could put a little hot sauce in the beer.
The point is to get diarrhea. So you need to
Oh, you can't just manifest that?
you can't just get diarrhea from beer.
I could
No, I guess
only
you
eat
can.
fiber. I could
Yeah,
only eat
Adam,
fiber.
I hate to break it to you.
I love the things that I say on this podcast.
That's why I can only have
That's what I
shower
have.
beers.
Yeah. Oh, because it's
Anymore.
just basically as
It's
you're drinking,
immediate.
it's running out
When
of
I
your,
take
down
a
your leg.
sip, it's just
Yeah.
and then you're right back there catching it with a glass.
You ever take a shit while you're taking a shower and like let it go down the drain?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
I'd like to.
I feel like William has to have taken a shit in the shower.
Like you can piss in the shower, you know?
Yeah, you definitely pee, but like
Just
Doesn't
to be
the water
I
like,
would
just
do that with
immediately
wet.
go back around?
I would do that
You
with
would
Wit,
piss
and she
on-
would really be upset
course.
when I would do that.
of course.
You'd pee on her
It's got to drain. No, I would pee in the shower
while you were
Class.
taking a shower.
while we were both taking a shower together as a married couple.
You need to write a book about all your like pee experience
I know. My life is way too pee
revolved
related.
around piss. Exactly.
When I was a little kid, actually, my mom got this really nice like flower bush thing, and
Yeah.
like by the back door, we have this like driveway that goes along the side of the house, and it started dying, and she's like, "Why is this thing dying? Like, what the hell?" I'm like, I'm watering it right and stuff, and one day she sees my dad come home with me
Oh,
and
you
my
were pissing on
brother
it.
and my two cousins, and he's like,
Spoiler
"All right,
alert,
guys."
Adam is pissing on the bush. He killed
Yeah,
the bush.
but my dad is like, "Okay, guys, go pee," and like letting us go run and pee on this bush.
What?
You
Your dad let you do that?
Yeah.
So your dad took you around behind
Yeah.
the house and told you to whip out your little ding dong. And Pitt, is this where your
Oh.
fetish started?
Yeah. Well, I
dad
mean, like, I
rules.
don't know. There's that kind of. Do you guys have stories like that?
And he goes, and you go, but mom, I didn't know it'd kill it. I drink it and I'm do just fine.
And
like-
I'm do just fine.
Dad, I don't have to
What,
go.
5?
Dad, I don't have to go today. He's like, do it, son. Do it. Piss on the bush.
He shows me like the gun in his belt.
Teach your cunt mother a lesson. I hate
All
this
right, all
fucking
right.
bush. I want to
Okay.
rip it out.
His bush.
So we're gonna piss on it until the bush is gone.
All right. Sorry, I told that story. I'll never tell stories from my childhood again.
I'm curious to meet your family one day.
It's a lot of pee related stuff.
They're still together
Hmm.
for now.
Yeah.
The Bush situation didn't cause a huge rift.
Ryan's parents are also still together.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but his parents aren't sexless.
What do you mean? Like Adam's parents don't have genders?
No,
Yeah,
they can't.
They don't have any genitals?
You're just confusing
unable
the
to make
terms
love.
gender and sex.
His father has an ailment of the soul. He's a paraplegic.
He's a paraplegic of the soul.
Oh my god, he's
Nice tying it back.
Yeah,
Um,
I didn't get what's the point of this movie, and how do you say it? Zandalee?
Let's explain the
So-
movie.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So the movie we're talking about is Zandalee, which came out straight to video in the early 90s. Probably because it's so terrible, it was unreleasable. But this is like an erotic movie. It's not even an erotic thriller like Basic Instinct. There's no real like violence to it, not much anyway. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of like 9.5 Weeks or Last Tango in Paris seems to be a big influence. It's mostly a movie where it's like an R-rated porn, like softcore porn for adults with like over-the-top acting, like out of a Tennessee Williams play.
Yeah. It's like a sex movie.
It's a sex movie, and Judge Reinhold is married to Erika Anderson, who has a little brief role in Twin Peaks, like we said, but also she's in Nightmare on Elm Street 5, which is probably her most famous role. I think she plays like a rich girl with an eating disorder, and in her nightmare, Freddy feeds her to death.
Oh, like
what?
like a scene in
Yeah.
a kids movie where it's like somebody's not eating, like just doesn't stop eating like cake or something like that, and then they
He just
get
keeps
really big.
serving her, and her cheeks get bigger and bigger, and then like I don't know. I think
It's kinda like a
like
Willy
that,
Wonka
like
sort of thing.
that. I was thinking that Wu-Tang Method Man skit where he's like, I'm gonna staple up your ass and just keep feeding you and feeding you and feeding you and
Yeah.
feeding you.
Unfortunately, it's not
that's
that
tight.
cool. But so they're married, and then Judge Reinhold, I guess, was a poet, and now he's working for his
Successful
father's
poet.
He's working for his father's company, but his father died a year ago, and now he's depressed, and he doesn't really feel like writing. He doesn't feel like having sex. He doesn't feel like doing anything. He's just like he's being a little bitch about the entire movie.
And he inherited like $1 million company from his father in a mansion.
Yeah. Why is he so
Basically.
depressed?
And his wife is always naked.
Yeah. She's incredibly
is
hot and
hot.
always naked. And this guy's like, fucking, I can't fuck or whatever.
It's an artist turned corpo.
Oh, I see. Yeah, he's like a sellout because Nicolas Cage talks about that, about like, oh, money is like the abs need. What did he say about like money and art? Like money is the absence of creativity or money or something like that.
Yeah.
Really rings true coming from multimillionaire Nicolas Cage.
I was thinking he's
This freaking Lizard Island.
yeah, he's so good in this movie, and I was thinking like for
I thought his
all the
hair was
actors-
better.
his hair and
than his
facial hair is so good. Looks like Sam
Yeah,
Hyde, I think.
He's
It looks
sporting a
fake.
nice, thick, dark mullet,
That
Oh,
looks like
yeah.
extensions.
and he looks
Okay.
like a Spanish. He has like the facial hair of a Spanish pirate.
It's the Fu Manchu. He has the facial hair of a guy that's gonna fuck your wife. That's for sure.
And the energy to match.
He's so good in this movie. He's like,
I feel-
I was thinking he's a good product for all the actors that are famous because of like nepotism. He's like up there as being maybe the best or one of the best. Who's a better actor that came from nepotism than him? Who's so fun to watch and like intense and good.
I don't know.
Drew
Just throwing it out
Barrymore.
there. What's up?
Probably The
Drew
Rock.
Barrymore?
Drew Barrymore.
She's good.
Great
Dwayne The Rock
actor.
Johnson.
Really
You know, actors that,
Academy
like,
Award
really
winner
have
Drew
it.
Barrymore.
Like they'd be famous if they weren't a product of nepotism.
Would they?
I don't know.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Great actor.
Well, I
he really
guess.
gives
I
it
mean,
his
that's like
all.
I wouldn't say that's nepotism. I mean, like in the acting business or in Hollywood.
You know he's a
Like-
huge drug addict, wife abuser.
Nicolas
Dwayne The Rock.
Cage. Really? Are you,
He smokes
Yeah.
crack. He's on crack.
He
Really?
smokes crack.
you
Why
kidding?
do you think they call him The Rock?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Rock
That's
steady.
cool. Wait, are you being serious, though, Ryan?
The story just
yep.
broke.
Okay.
He abused Kevin Hart.
He's abusive to Kevin Hart on the all the movies that they're on, but they're in like this kind of toxic or like fucked up
Yes.
relationship. Kevin Hart can't get out.
Kevin
told
Hart
Kevin
is
Hart-
like his Nicolas Cage.
Yeah,
He told
he's
Kevin Hart, "Hey Kevin, you ever hear about Fatty Arbuckle?" And then he shoved
Yeah.
Kevin Hart up his asshole.
Feet first.
Was that your Dwayne?
Yeah.
Do the smell what the
that
rock's
wasn't bad.
cooking.
That was a bad. Don't pimp him out. Don't pimp him
Dance.
out. When it's
Do you
organic.
smell what the rock is cooking?
Do you
Hey,
smell?
that was pretty good.
La, 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 la,
He
la.
does not do
What
that,
the
does
rock is cooking. That's what he does.
he? He does that with his tongue.
You have to be like, yeah. Oh, he started doing that at later, after it had been a thing for a while. He put like that on it, and
He
people
probably
would,
does that when
because
he
everybody
kisses.
would be like saying it with him in the stadium. Imagine how good. That's probably like one of the funnest feelings, is to say something like that, like your catchphrase in a mic when you're in a pro wrestling stadium, like sold out, and everybody's like saying it with you.
It's one of the funnest feelings.
Fuck.
The Rock came home that night and opened his journal. He's like, "Dear diary, today I had one of the funnest feelings of my life.
I've forgotten.
I was
I
in a
thought-
sports arena
I just saw it like,
and I gave
oh
my
man,
catchphrase.
I'm making a
and
really
the
good
audience
observation right
liked
now.
it.
But I forgot that I said funnest feelings at the beginning. I said that is
Today I had
incredibly
one of the
stupid.
funnest feelings of my life. Kevin Hart shoved a Coke bottle up my asshole.
Oh
I
man.
then broke wind and ripped the bottom of the bottle out.
Whoa. Yeah.
The crew would not stop laughing.
The Rock could do that, I bet.
I bet he
He could break
could.
the bottle out with his butt.
He's just built different.
Yeah.
And then he says, "Do you smell what the Rock is cooking?"
Yeah. Yeah. So
I would
yeah,
rather
Nick-
watch that movie than this movie again, to be honest. Whatever that movie is, The Rock.
Well, let's
Coke bottle
let's
Rock.
keep setting it up. So Nicolas Cage comes in, and he's
There's a
this guy's
shot. There's a
friend who
bachelor
comes
party,
back.
and this guy's licking a woman's tits, and then the camera
Was it-
rack focuses
Yeah,
down a
great.
hallway, and then you see Nicolas Cage walk in.
Oh my
silhouette
God, and just
style.
silhouette style. Yeah,
Silhouette, and then just rock out. He just bends over and shakes his head like he's a freaking headbanger rock and roll guy. He's cool. It's cool.
It's a really good. I mean, it's just Nick being loose. You know what I mean?
Well, what he's doing is he's just destroying every scene he's in. Like,
yeah,
if you ever acted, there's certain times where you
Sorry,
are easily the best performer on stage.
right.
No one else can keep up, and you're just like destroying. And Nicolas Cage is just killing it every scene.
Yeah.
No matter how stupid, no matter how dumb anything he says is, it's so much better than anything Judge Reinhold can bring.
That's true.
It's a real night and day, like back and forth kind of comparison between absolutely murdering as an actor and being so insecure and so awful that you should probably kill yourself. Like
Yeah.
Judge Reinhold is awful. And the other funny thing is that Judge Reinhold's like, "I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a New Orleans accent, and that will give me the upper hand in this movie." And
yeah, and he
Nicolas Cage has
spouts verse and shit the whole movie.
he spouts
Sure.
his dumb poetry.
His own poetry.
Oh,
But Nicolas Cage doesn't even bother to do an accent, even though they're supposed to be like,
Growing up, they grew up together in New Orleans.
yeah. So he just kills.
oh, he's so good.
He's a painter.
He's a painter. He's a terrible painter.
He's an awful painter. The one portrait that he does of the judge is pretty good. That one was good.
I mean, it's average. It's like he paints
That was
with
it was
acrylic.
1991.
I think
He
Everybody
paints with
loved that type of
acrylics.
shit.
Okay, it's just
This is,
you know-
this is from the boyfriend of a painter. That's the only reason why William knows this stuff. Otherwise,
me
he'd also
there any
be like, "Oh
portraits
yeah,
of
it looks
you?
good."
Do you
Yeah.
do you ever
Did William?
your girlfriend's a
Did
painter?
your girlfriend paint a
my
portrait?
girlfriend's an oil painter, so I know a lot about
Oil,
painting, and I know
yeah.
a lot about how much fucking work has to go into every like oil painting, and it's a complete nightmare.
do you ever model
Nicolas Cage is just like finger painting. And
I've
then-
never modeled for art, but I have painted.
for her?
Oh yeah,
Do
you
ever
used to
just-
like do shit.
Do you just
shit.
I've
do you
drawn,
just get
like-
naked and lay on the couch when she comes home and just waiting for her? And
Tell him what you
it's like
used to do, William.
a blank canvas, just waiting on an easel.
Tell him what you.
Well, I used to
do.
draw. I've drawn like hundreds and hundreds of models like in art class
How often would you get a model in art class?
every day.
That'd be a different model.
It
Every
pays
day's a
pretty
different
well.
model. And
Wow.
then it pays. Yeah, there's a guild.
And they're nude models?
They're nude models. So here's the difference
Always?
between male. Yeah, always. You're not going to wear shorts. So
You're not just getting really good at drawing like a guy in cargo shorts?
there are clothed models.
Just baggy cargos.
Yeah. William in art school.
You have to draw nude models because you can't even draw a person with clothing if you don't know what they look like without clothing.
Oh, that makes sense.
I bet
guess.
I bet I could.
Yeah. You would just draw
I wish I could draw.
simple shapes of a person's body. Like just
I used to draw. I showed Adam some of my.
Oh yeah,
art.
Ryan's a drawer.
I used to. I don't.
you should go out into like the town square, like a coffee shop, and just like draw people.
Draw the people.
And then when they come over and go like, what have you been drawing? And then you're like, it's just everybody in the coffee shop nude.
You just turn it and show.
You're like, oh my God, you even got my moles right.
Yeah.
You're like, it's a gift.
I'm pretty good at imagining what people look like naked.
So here's the funny thing about nude models, which is the female models are always demure and they wear a robe and they take the robe on and off in between modeling sessions. And like, they'll be very careful not to to cover themselves. Like they never want to show their like spread vagina ever. They never want to do it.
Yeah, they
But
don't do the
male
open
models-
lips thing.
God,
The
you
male
say, that, you
model-
say that like you were just really, really looking for one to
He's
spread.
like,
I
on.
was.
You're like, what the fuck?
I mean, I was 18 years old. I was like horny as all hell. I was looking. But then the male
I hear
models, it was just like leg up in the air, asshole right to your face, or like ball sack hanging, like
Just drawing this
male
guy's
models-
detailed asshole.
just so confident, just
It's like right
spread
in
like
your face.
always doing action poses, like they're cavemen, like killing.
Were they pretty? Were they always usually?
That's really
fit?
funny.
What's that?
Were they usually always fit?
No. All types of body types.
All types
Everything-
of body types. Yeah, I could draw that.
Skinny, fat, in shape, out of shape.
So what was the average guy's dick size for nude modeling? Was it like guys with just all types of dicks, or was it like exclusively small?
They looked like guys who were like in their late 30s, early 40s, and like were single, not married, and just were like
Forget about it.
I'm into banging puss. I don't give a shit. Like they don't. These
They're
guys
all
are.
these that's the type of guy that they all were.
Yeah, they're like old. Like, because like, what kind of guy does nude modeling?
Yeah,
I couldn't. Do
that's
it.
the question. I guess.
Never young men. They're almost
see.
never
I don't-
young.
I'm-
They're always.
Oh, it's
old.
like weird.
I got
It's
too
like
fragile
weird
of an ego.
swinger guys. Huh? Yeah. It's like weird swinger.
And I got a tiny wiener.
If you want to see, like,
Yeah.
watch Art School Confidential. That's
you
the
do.
perfect depiction of a male nude model and a female nude model.
Okay.
And the
I would
female,
pay-
Got it.
the
I wouldn't
women are
make any
usually
money.
attractive.
The
I
women
wouldn't
are.
make any money.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
That's cool.
I wouldn't make any money. Well, I feel like women are probably. I'm not going to speak for women. I I would lose all my money. I wouldn't make any money because I would like be handing 20s to people and be like, just add a few inches, just make that shit look good and make a thick ass. Give me like a
You're
thick
paying
ass.
everybody, trying you to like,
And to just make me look like
just could you
I'm
guys like,
talking-
you know,
add 3 inches to that ass. Basically,
like
3 inches
modeling.
out.
And this girl is like making eye contact with you, and you're just like, hold up. Are you looking at me? Hold on. Can we just stop? Can I just talk to her? Just like get
There
up
you
in the middle of class. You're nude.
So how's
Just
it going?
nude.
What's
Do
up?
we have
So
something?
what
here?
do you guys even do here? Is this a school?
You're like, yeah, I used to go to school.
Yeah. I
I
liked it.
found my true
It's
passion.
pretty good. Yeah.
Full nude modeling.
But yeah, anyway,
Nicolas Cage
Nicolas
is a
Cage,
great painter who comes in.
he's
What?
great painter, great artist, works hard at his craft.
Well, movie painting is it's like
He's-
hard to do art in movies because it has to be somewhat good. If
so
the
why
guy's supposed to
try?
be good.
If it's hard, why even attempt?
Why? Or you could just
But if you're
pay
telling
an
us-
actual,
Because here's the
successful painter.
here's
to
the
do all
downside.
paint-
to use their paintings.
That's what they do. And here's the downside.
Oh yeah, of course.
If your
It's not Nicolas Cage
paintings
painting.
look like shit, then your character looks like a moron.
Yeah,
It's-
yeah.
yeah,
Or
it's
everybody
embarrassing.
looks kind of dumb.
Your movie will come out straight to video and be an embarrassment.
But I
Luckily,
think
was
this
involved.
movie had good art. From
I
good
think
artists.
Nicolas Cage's character is
He's
kind
not
of
supposed-
an idiot. I don't. He's
Correct.
not successful. He
Correct.
works at
He's
a.
not supposed to
he
be a
works-
good painter.
Yeah, he's like a blue collar cable.
He's a
worker.
cocaine addict. Also, he's
Addict,
constantly
yeah.
buying drugs in the movie.
He's a fail son though, because he's like,
His dad's super rich.
yeah, his dad, yeah,
Oh, they
Trust fund
said
kid.
that.
he's
Yeah.
a trust fund kid.
I watched
Oh.
it twice.
He's a cool guy.
In the
He's a
first scene of the
very
movie.
cool guy in the
In the
movie.
first scene in the
He fucks
movie,
his
he
best friend's
buys
wife. That's not
he
very.
buys
cool.
cocaine. Did you notice that?
It's pretty cool.
At the bar.
The first
That's
shot
pretty
of the
cool.
movie, he's buying
Yeah,
coke.
I did see that because I rewatched it.
No, I didn't. I didn't know he was in the first. I was.
Yeah,
barely
when they
paying
pull
attention.
up and she's
It's
on
a
the balcony.
that's a thing you don't know. You couldn't know at the time.
Oh, well, I was wondering why that was so confusing. That whole pan shot. I didn't know who was in this movie because I don't look up what these movies are about.
You're just
before.
saying the opening shot was really
that opening
confusing.
shot because it followed so many different people.
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
the point.
Oh,
I
here's,
think though.
here's the main girl. Okay, no, that's that guy. Okay, no, now it's that guy.
I
And
know,
then,
it's this
and then
guy.
it's like
No, no.
psych, and then it goes up, and it's like this naked
Ryan-
girl on the balcony.
Ryan's
Yeah.
just like
Watering
pulling
her
at his
plants.
collar, sweating. He's like, I don't know, man.
who's the lead?
This is a complicated movie.
And then it just
What's that guy's name? Who's that guy? Where's
They
she
should have
going?
hired. They should have hired like done a real police squad situation, and or Naked Gun, and just hired like 10 super famous actors, and they would just start the movie panning on them, and then just cut away, and you never
that's
see them
funny.
again.
Kind of like Gold Member.
Did they do that?
Yeah, they did something like that.
They open with like Tom Cruise and
It's a big celeb fest.
Danny DeVito and a bunch of big actors playing Austin
God,
Powers.
Mike Myers always is one step ahead of me. That son of a bitch.
I mean, if you want to see a funny comedy sketch, it better have some big A-list Hollywood stars.
And it better
That's-
have a guy doing an actor
the
that you know
funniest type of thing.
cannot do acrobatic gymnastic backflips on the ground, and he better
Oh yeah,
have an
yeah,
an
totally.
obvious stunt double. Otherwise, I ain't watching it.
That's a good one.
Yeah, so Nicolas Cage is at this bachelor party. He runs into Judge Reinhold. They haven't seen each other in forever. And then
And Judge
He
is
invi-
now the owner of the cable company, the whole company. So he's technically Nick Cage's boss.
yeah. And so they
well, he gets him the job, right?
yeah.
No, he's already had the job, I thought.
Oh, he like just
I
got
think
to
he gets him
town.
the job. I don't even doesn't matter. He ends
Yeah,
up
yeah.
working there.
It's fine.
But they go like he invites Nicolas Cage back to his house, and then he introduces him to his wife Zandali, and they kind of don't get
Just
along.
the average name.
They're flirty. It's like a flirty, don't get along.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sexual
Well, yeah,
tension?
they have tension immediately.
He's a bad boy, and she's horny as hell because her husband
Yeah.
has what is it?
He's a
Paralysis
paraplegic of the soul. Yeah.
Paraplegic of the soul.
Yeah. His Judge Reinhold can't fuck
Get it
his
up.
wife.
He's depressed.
His wife wants to have butt sex and he can't. And so there's that
Yeah.
scene where you think they're about to have butt sex, but then you just see Judge Reinhold's ass a bunch.
that's not what happens.
And
So
and then a
Zandali goes
Yes,
out
it
to
is. That's exactly what happened.
Zandali goes out drinking with her like gay, trans, cross-dressing
Oh, the
friend,
dude
played
from the
by
Matrix.
Joe Pantoliano. He's like, and he's terrible
Oh, yeah.
in this movie, and he's
Joey
almost
Pants.
never terrible.
I
He's always
know.
good.
He wasn't
It's a-
that bad.
It's a good role, but it is weird to see him in it.
in a dress.
Well, he's like a drag
It was made me feel weird.
queen. He's
No,
this
he's
is a
just
queer
gay.
positive movie, though,
He's like a cross-dresser.
for its time.
Yeah, I mean,
He's not even
just a gay
exactly
dude.
trans. It's just at the time that's what
She's
they
got
would
a good
call it.
job, and he's
She sells clothing, and he
and
works
her,
at the
and
shop
her
with her.
and her like
He's like
friend
a
is like
tailor.
a queer person.
But then, so they go out drinking
Whatever
to
that
this
is.
nightclub,
Oh, he's
and
the
there's
tailor.
this
Okay.
disgusting-looking guy with an earring that she decides to kiss because she's drunk and she's so
Yeah.
hopped up and horny. And Joe Pantoliano's like, "Honey, if you're gonna kiss him, you better get like what, like an
what did
STD
he
shot
say?
or something, or like
yeah.
Yeah.
What did he say? Because that line made me laugh.
That line was
I
weird
can't
too. I
remember.
clocked that line as well. You better get donor something
yeah,
about
you better get a
donor.
donor card.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Update. You better.
Is he gonna
update your
murder
donor
her?
card.
Is he gonna kill her?
Update your donor status or something.
Because
Yeah,
you're gonna
what
be
does that
lost.
mean?
You're gonna be killed, and then
So very
Also, I don't.
strange script. This is a strange script.
I don't think they
Yeah.
would take her organs if they were just riddled with STDs that would kill you overnight.
no, he's gonna stab her to death, cut her
Oh.
throat.
He didn't
yeah,
seem
so
like the type. He just
Well,
seemed like
Better
a
get a
big gay
donor
dude.
card.
what we're saying is,
So then, anyway,
well, hold on.
they-
She went to this club with this guy, with her friend, and it's like a sex club where you see people like simulating sex, or it's like a strip club kind of, but it's like male
Yeah.
and female, and everybody's
was
getting
so
horny
weird,
and
just-
making out.
it's like
And
a
then
New
she-
Orleans thing. It's like in the
Yeah.
Mariah
Humping.
district.
Yeah, it's like I like this movie's cool and showing like a New Orleans. It's like, like that. CD
Full of white
and stuff,
people,
and like
no black people, that kind of New Orleans.
yeah, it's
the
very
kind,
authentic.
the kind Adam likes.
Well, it's like the Insomniac.
There really wasn't any people
When it-
of color. The bartender,
That's true. Aaron Neville, funny performance, funny guy for that.
who's that?
He's like a singer, like an R&B singer with like a
Oh,
really.
So we're
funny-
getting way off track. So
Okay.
then she comes home and she's so horny, and then Judge Reinhold's like, he'll sleep in bed. And he wakes up
Yeah.
and he's like, and she's just drunk. She's like,
She's giggling.
she just wants to get banged so hard, and then she bends over and she's like, what does she say? Come on, try it. Or I thought like she makes
Shit.
First, she
a
said
definite
she said,
ass fucking reference.
Yeah, she's like, I want to be explorers.
Yeah, I
explorers
wanna
of our
explore.
body,
Something. Yeah.
like we
Which-
used to, or whatever. 'Cause
Um,
she's just reminiscing the old days when he was a poet and they would just bang all the
yeah,
time.
yeah. The honeymoon's over.
Judge Reinhold's not into it. He doesn't want to do it.
And then he gets up and just uses their boom ass.
Yeah,
while
you
he's
just see his ass for a long time.
He feels
brooding, while he's
self-conscious.
brooding out of the
Yeah.
window.
Oh yeah, and then she starts masturbating while looking at him. Oh no, before he goes to the window, she starts like looking at him and masturbating while crying.
Yeah.
And he goes, I guess we're back, baby. And he gets up and
Yeah.
grabs
So
a
then,
Coke bottle.
He pulls a Fatty Arbuckle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, she should be like, I got a Coke bottle. Been
Yeah.
waiting in the Fatty Arbuckle. You want to do this?
He just winks at him.
You know I don't
Do it
like
Fatty
Fatty
style.
Arbuckle.
It's called fatty stuff.
God. And then he's like, she's like, you
Axel.
quit writing. Is this
That's
the
my
same
Judge Reinhold
scene?
impression. Axel,
Yeah.
God damn it, stop it.
Is that a Beverly Hills Cop? Is that what you're talking about?
I'm not gonna
Oh.
fuck you in the ass, Axel.
Is that your
Yeah.
Judge Reinhold?
Was he also like a cashier at a restaurant in Fast Times?
Yeah, they both Nicolas Cage and Judge Reinhold are both
cashier at a restaurant?
Fast
Get
Times at Ridgemont
out.
Highs.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Both
and then
highs.
Robert
And then
comes
Sean,
in at
and
the end.
that's the scene where Sean Penn's like, just give me a large Coke and I'm going to shove it up my ass. And he goes, get out. Sean Penn, get out of here.
People tell me
And
I look
that's
like
when we
Judge
find-
Reinhold a lot.
Yeah, you do.
I don't see it.
Does your
This-
hair get curly
Yeah, it
Yes.
does.
when it's okay?
You
Yeah.
got to grow it out like Judge Reinhold.
I
Yeah,
don't
true.
see it. We've talked about this before. I'm going to look up a picture right now.
He's in the movie.
We have
Yeah,
different
but he has
years.
he has that mustache that I
Adam,
Different
you got to go
years.
mustache.
Mm.
what is his
Um,
name? Sam?
I gotta get with the program. guys.
Sam.
Oh, that's
Adam-
the
For
director.
everybody listening, Adam looks exactly like Judge Reinhold. It's
don't
uncanny.
know.
I'll see
And
it.
he has the same
No.
aloof doofus persona.
I don't.
And he's
I don't-
uptight.
I don't know.
Listen to him. This is a real Zandalee
And his-
scene. No. Actually, I disagree.
I'm not. My life is not like Zandali.
Yeah, he's a
Isn't
freaking
it?
Judge is freaking spouting off poetry that he wrote in the book that he had published, and Adam's over here. I think it'd be the funnest if like you were in a
No.
stadium.
Yeah. Funnest feeling.
Today I had the funnest feeling in the whole world. I took a big pee on a bush, and my daddy was proud of me.
Every Judge Reinhold movie would be better if Adam did.
My daddy petted me on the head and said, "Your cunt mother's really gonna hate that."
Stop saying that.
That's her nickname.
Enough for that.
And then so Judge Reinhold's, I'm not even gonna try and say his name. Tamari. His character's name is Tamari.
Thierry.
Thierry.
Oh, Thierry
call yourself Terry,
from New Orleans.
And
your name is Terry.
His dad died, right? Heart attack a year prior.
Yeah,
Poppy died.
Yeah. Poppy died.
Is that why? So is that why he like has writer's block?
Yes. Yes.
No, and his new responsibility. He has responsibilities now. He had to take over the company, and it's made him like rich but unhappy. And so he can't fuck.
Holy shit! For a second, I thought that they were gonna reveal Nicolas Cage was also banging the mom. Did anybody else feel that?
That'd be cool.
Because they were like,
let's talk about the movie. Let's talk about it like in a sequence where people.
Yeah, let's just burn through the plot real fast. Yeah. So, Nicolas Cage is painting a portrait of Thierry, Judge Reinhold, and Zandalee doesn't really like it, but at the unveiling of it at the house, Nicolas Cage just sneaks on a full makeout session kiss on her. Just like
they fuck. They fuck.
No.
They fuck on a washing machine.
That's second time.
That's a later scene.
Oh, I was good.
So first they make out really hard. Sorry. Okay. And he's just like grabbing her, and she didn't even send that much of a signal. So then later on, she's jogging, and Nicolas Cage grabs her by a gate, and then in the rain, he like fucks her in an alleyway. And
no, they already fucked.
No.
Before.
No, that was the first time.
This is the
What about the one in the bed? That scene in the bed is before those.
No, then they go from the alley to the bed.
No, they go to the alley to the bed.
Oh, okay.
And when he's on top of her in the bed, now this is like my theory what's going on. Nicolas Cage is like, he showed up on set. He looked at the director, Sam Pillsbury, someone no one's ever heard of. He's looking around. He's like, there's a bunch of losers on this movie. He's like, I think I can fuck this girl on camera and no one will know. And they'll just say I'm a great actor. Like
did they actually
banging
it looked like they
her.
were banging?
I'm
going to look that up.
Maybe he's not even
it's a good sex scene. It's a good sex movie.
But he's just like furiously humping.
Aggressive.
Yeah, well, it's like passionate. It's very passionate.
And this is like an NC-17 movie.
Yeah.
There's an unrated version. That's what we watched. But essentially it's NC-17.
Oh, you got to watch the unrated version.
Because like the one thing the MPAA doesn't allow is like really intense hip thrusting. That's why in movies they never have real sex scenes. They're always like woman on top, lots of they basically show foreplay in R-rated movies. You don't really see actual banging.
Yeah.
And like it's funny because like on TV, you're more likely to see more realistic sex scenes because the TV ratings are self-administered. So the channel is essentially like releasing their own rating. So like Girls is more graphic than most R-rated movies. So anyway, I feel like Nick Cage is just like, yeah, I think I could just bang this chick. So he's just dry humping her really hard.
It looked like there could have been. It was uncomfortable to watch.
Was it?
Yeah,
because you were getting aroused.
Well, I was jealous that I wasn't Zandali in that situation.
Just getting balls out.
Freaking plowed, dude. He could have ruptured a sack in that scene. He was thrusting.
Yeah.
You're just like, getting a little jealous here.
But I don't know.
You're like crossing and uncrossing your legs, folding your arms, just getting a little miffed.
What is this feeling?
So Ryan, you like the movie?
Interesting.
It's like, it's okay.
Yeah.
I could have been a better Zandali in that one scene where she gets plowed by Nick.
So they start banging all the time. There's a family dinner, and this is where the the guy, Mr. Pitt from Seinfeld, shows up. He's with what, Zandalee's mom or Judge Reinhold's mom? Who's that old lady? I can't remember.
That's
He's just
Judge Reinhold's mom.
yeah.
Because he was at the beginning. At the beginning, he says it's all backwards. When I was a kid, she was never around, and now when she's old, I'm taking care of her.
Yeah, he's
because they live.
He's a very boring
in the same house,
bitch,
right?
He's just a bitch of a character. He's boring. I kept thinking like, who would be better in that role? I kind of feel like
Cage should have played both characters.
Yeah,
I feel like James Spader would have been good. He's good in these kinds of movies, and he's good at being like kind of an empty shell of a person. But
yeah, totally.
It's such a lame part. Yeah, when he was younger. Harry Connick Jr. is from New Orleans because I looked up real New Orleans actors, and he was the only white one I found.
Damn, yeah, it's too bad. Judge Reinhold, why? Why did you do that?
Did he produce it? You said?
Yeah.
Yeah, he wanted
to be a serious actor that shows people his ass.
And because he's in a lot of dopey comedies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a dopey comedy actor.
It's kind of like that movie, The Razor's Edge. Have you ever seen that, William?
Yeah.
The Bill Murray movie. Is it good? It's like, that's Bill Murray's like, I want to be a serious actor, like from like the Caddyshack days.
Yeah, but The Razor's Edge, but Bill Murray's a good actor, so it's different.
Yeah.
I see.
Not necessarily a great movie, but he's not embarrassing.
Yeah, that's true. Bill Murray is.
It just wasn't a hit. This is embarrassing for Judge Reinhold.
He's not does he get cuckolded in that movie?
No, but he has a paraplegic of the soul.
Yeah. We've all been there.
But like this movie was like not even a speed bump on Nicolas Cage's career. Like he's shitting out.
That's when he had a gambling problem, right?
Oh yeah.
Or like a whole bunch of problems.
That's like now.
He is not even that wealthy back then, but like he just kept doing like cool movie roles all the time back then in the early 90s, just knocking them out. Like independent roles, getting good reviews. Like he just was crushing
it.
Building a career.
Of nepotism.
But Judge Reinhold, you didn't really see much of him after this, except for like the Santa Claus where he played another cuck. After this, he was like firm.
He did,
Cucked
right?
by Santa.
He's definitely.
I mean, who would be able to defend against Santa Claus? Are you kidding me? You've heard the song? I saw Mama kissing Santa.
He just goes around and fucks all the kids' moms. That's what he does on Christmas.
He's just
chugging milk.
Oscar Mayer Wienermobile whistle in the corner. He's just sucking it.
Yeah. Well, that's like a little penis.
This little hot dog penis.
It's a metaphor for his own little penis. Damn. The Santa Claus is a cuckold movie. You're right.
So anyway, at the family dinner, Mr. Pitt's there. Nicolas Cage brings his chick that I'm dating chicks. Like he brings Marissa Tomei, who is supposed to be like a very unclassy, kind of like a Harley Quinn type. Well, she makes jokes.
Harley Quinn's
Marissa Tomei would be a good
Harley Quinn is like really smart though. She literally has a doctor.
But I meant the voice. She's like a dumb.
Yeah, the voice is bad. The voice is like the voice works in the cartoon, but it doesn't work in the movie.
Okay, we're talking about Marissa Tomei.
Okay.
Yeah, Marissa Tomei's supposed to be like
Birds of Prey.
A bimbo. Is that the word?
Yes.
And, or in modern times they'd call
the whole time they're making jokes about her name being Remy, and they're like, maybe you should be married to Thierry because then you could be Remy Martin.
I don't get that.
I didn't get that.
Remy Martin.
Who's that? I still don't get it.
It's an alcoholic beverage.
Oh,
I thought it was an artist.
You guys,
see, just give me a beer. Just give me a beer and some hot sauce. Listen, I don't need those fancy ass.
Sounds like a painter.
You guys are
you're right.
Middle culture people.
Cognac.
Yeah, he's from Florida. I'm from Nebraska. You dingo.
Well,
you don't know what Remy Martin is?
I've obviously heard of it, but I haven't. I don't know. It's not that prevalent in my brain.
What is it?
Like an artist. I'm gonna stick by that.
What's the liquor?
Look, I don't drink it, but it's booze.
Yeah, it's cognac. Yeah, you should know this, Ryan.
Yeah, you're a boozer.
I'm a drunk. That doesn't mean I go to bars and order fancy ass dumbass drinks. I go to bars and I get a $14 pony of High Life.
What the fuck is
this? You don't
this?
try stuff.
Gin, you're like, I don't like this.
I do, but no, I don't make drinks at home.
Like an alcoholic who doesn't
Sure.
like doesn't like the taste of booze. He's like, oh,
I like it fruity, dude.
I
Give
don't
me
like
something fruity.
this.
Give me a
lemon
margarita.
Got anything fruity?
Give me a.
Can't you make me a Fatty Arbuckle or something good?
You're oh, what is that fancy ass whiskey drink? They put one big cube in it.
Yeah.
A high, not a
Highball?
highball.
No.
That's is that a
I think
fancy
it is,
one?
actually.
I can
Anything
see
be
William.
fancy, anything can be shitty.
See William like give me a warm glass of whiskey and just hating it, but he has to just drink it and feel like his paraplegic soul is.
I'd be like,
Yeah.
they're like, you
Like your
want
Max
whiskey
Payne.
warm? I'm like, yeah.
Max Payne.
Give me.
You got a microwave.
You ever go to a bar like when you're depressed and alone and just sit at the bar and drink whiskey and just think about yourself as Max Payne?
With a.
All right, so that's been the
with a fa-
podcast. No, I go to bars and I read books.
I go to bars and I buy
That's cool.
cocaine.
Nice.
I
Yeah.
talk to the
Like Nick
bartender. I
Cage.
go, hey, did that guy come by? Try
I
to buy
can't
a-
believe what I said derailed things so much.
I mean, I don't remember what
Fuck.
it's like really going to a bar. I haven't been really out to a bar in months just to like sit. Man,
Very
crazy
middle of the road
year, huh?
reference.
Crazy year. I
COVID.
want to go back to when they had that dinner date with
Marissa
Judge-
Tomei
Yeah. So they're
Judge's
making
mom.
and Mr.
jokes.
Pitt. All the
Remy Ma-
characters from Seinfeld. It's like close talker, Marissa Tomei as George's girlfriend and dream girlfriend, and then Mr. Pitt are having dinner together.
And then Nicolas
That is
Cage
weird.
is
Yeah.
fingering and shoving his hand in Zandalee's crotch.
out in the kitchen while they're all.
No, at the dinner
Oh,
table.
at the table.
Oh,
But
that's
then-
right.
Then later they go to the kitchen to like wash up, and Nicolas Cage says something like sexual, and she says no. And then the next thing he goes, "Oh yeah, well, how about you have me inside you while your husband's in the other room?" And then she just like her like head just like starts going down, and she just immediately goes down
Yeah.
on him and starts sucking him off. And like they cut to Judge Reinhold just kind of looking confused
Like,
and like
what's going
wondering
on?
where Zandalee is.
Yeah.
Like, honey, you okay in there? She's like,
It's
yeah,
been
just
42
washing up.
minutes.
Or no, Nicolas Cage is like, yeah, just washing up. And then they go to the washing room.
But he says it in such a voice that you know he's getting head. He's like, yeah, just watch it. oh,
Wash-
oh, God.
Her head is just knocking on the door. Like, boom, boom, boom.
What are you guys freaking making mac and cheese in there? What's that noise?
I want some. Can I have some mac and cheese too?
I mean, I know we just had a full meal, but
They're
if
just
y'all are
silent.
mixing up that Mac pack, bring it on out, baby.
Yeah.
Too much time goes by and they're just kind of sitting there like, so don't really have much to talk about. I don't really.
Yeah,
Don't
right.
really
Judge
know
would be out
you.
there reciting
Nicolas
his
Cage
poetry.
comes out with just like his brow seeped in sweat.
Just nut everywhere.
Yeah.
That's all
Yeah.
there is.
Just dribbling cum like a huge boner
Oh,
poking out through
gross.
his slacks are like have a nice tent. He's just like, oh man.
It's painter's life. I get messy. It's a painter's life.
Yeah.
Zandalee's hair is just completely fucked. Clothes are on backwards. Her like heels busted.
Well, then so they
He's
move
like,
into
"Where's the mac and
laundry room.
cheese?"
It cuts
So they
to there
bang.
in the laundry.
They go
room.
in the laundry room and they bang.
and she turns it on purpose. It was the dryer or the washer, whatever. But she reaches back and either is because she's. I don't know if it was
She
intentional
turns
that
it
she
on
turned it on.
to mask it.
She wants like a vibrating, and also she wants like the vibration.
Yeah, and a vibrating.
Sure.
Everybody
work?
loves
Nicolas
a good
Cage.
Does that work?
Yeah, one
Anybody
one
do
thing
that?
that works really well is you put your balls on the cool surface of the washing machine.
My
It really does wonders.
I pretty much any
Doesn't
date I
work on the
bring-
dryer. The dryer's too hot.
Yeah, you're
Any
picturing
day.
yourself
They'll
sitting
singe.
on the.
Well, yeah, any date I bring home, I would, and I only date a 5'2" and under, and I always go take me to the laundry room, and we'd go to the laundry room, and then I'd say throw me up to the girl, and she would throw me up onto the laundry, and balls are just sitting on it and just.
And you're like, that's
And
good. You can leave
and I
now.
was
You're just like, oh god.
just lock the door, lock the knob on the way out so nobody comes in.
Yeah.
And I don't even use my hands. I just lean back.
Like, I got Apple TV in the other room. Just, oh god, just get out.
Hit it on a 45-minute cycle, 50-minute cycle. Before that scene, though, when there was literally 2 scenes where they kind of made it seem, and I think it was just bad transitioning or writing or whatever, they made it seem where, okay, so Judge's girlfriend, Zandalee, is talking to his mom, and his mom is like, there's a guy. She's basically admits to having an affair before her husband even died.
With Mr. Pitt.
With Mr. Pitt, but we don't know it's Mr. Pitt at the time.
Yeah.
And
then when we see it, we're like, oh my God, it's Mr. Pitt.
She's like, I've had a guy for a while. And she says that it's like for years and years that I would just, poke in the laundry room. I don't know if she said that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then the next
like
scene
is,
so then when she said that, it just was worded so weirdly to me that I was like, no way it's Nicolas Cage. No way it's that character. And then the next scene, Judge goes to the bar to invite Nicolas Cage over for dinner so that they can meet her new boyfriend. And he goes, what are you doing tomorrow night? Come over to dinner. The only papers I'm serving are an invitation to dinner. And is what he says. And
you thought it was going to be Nicolas Cage was also
Nick Cage. He goes, Nick Cage, yeah, and Nick Cage goes, I'm busy that night, I can't. And he's like, okay, well, bring her with you, because he's like, oh, you're busy, you're going to be with a girl, bring her with you. And then he goes, my mom is going to introduce us to her new boyfriend. And Nick Cage kind of like looks at him and goes, oh, interesting, she is, huh? And I'm like, oh, it's him. For a second, I was like, no way. This movie is going to take a twist where he's banging the dude's mom and his wife. That would have been a way more interesting plot.
Well, you know whose mother had an affair with Nicolas Cage?
Whose mother?
So one day Adam's dad comes out. He goes, have you seen your cunt mother?
Oh, my God.
I think she's banging Nicolas Cage.
Dad, I haven't seen her all day. You made me stand out by this bush and piss on it. I've been out here for 6 hours.
I can see you motherfuckers try this shit in person. We're doing this over Zoom, I feel like.
Do what in person? Insult you?
Yeah. And say these horrible, untrue things.
In person, it's a lot funnier because your wife laughs also.
Oh, I can't wait till your baby's laughing with us.
Yeah. Your
baby's gonna be like, yeah, one time. He's gonna be like 5 or whatever. Like, yeah, actually, that's funny you bring that up. One time, my dad tried to get me, Adam tried to get me to piss on the bush, and I was like, Dad, hell no. I'm gonna go hang out with your cunt wife.
Oh God.
And then you're like, did you just call your mom a cunt? And he's like, yeah. She laughs. Is that a good kid voice?
Yeah,
I know William's kind of the impersonator on the cast, but
I believed it.
Yeah, it was believable. That's all that mattered.
Yeah, I'm Adam's kid. He tries to get me to piss on stuff.
So then,
let's take a break and pee.
You seem so stressed out.
I need a reset. Let's take a break.
What's wrong with you?
I got too high, I think. Sorry, guys.
Classic Adam.
I know. Let's take a pee break. It's an hour. We need to take a break at the hour mark.
Yeah,
I don't have to take a break.
I know, but it's good. It's good for my brain. I gotta pee.
I don't need to pee, but I can go. I can go squeeze one out.
All right.
You know what I like? I like it when you don't wear anything under.
The movie just kind of chugs along. We find out Judge Reinhold's having issues at work.
Oh, well, he finds out too. This is an important scene when they're banging on the washer. When she turns the washer on, that's when the judge really, he tilts his head and like squints and really, he figures it out. He's like,
yeah, that's his moment.
They're banging. He like, yeah. So after this, he's kind of he suspects something is going on. Like
he suspects something, but he doesn't know.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, he has suspicions.
He's an extremely stupid guy. He's mostly tilting his head, just like, I thought sure he did the laundry. Oh well, I'll just sit here talking to Mr. Pitt from Seinfeld.
Yeah, I can't believe I get to meet Mr. Pitt from Seinfeld.
So the movie's chugging along, and I think this is when the best sex scene in the movie happens. Here's what happens. I feel like there's two things. The first is Zandalee goes to church, and then Nicolas Cage finds her there. And she's saying, like, I don't know, like Terry's feeling really bad. And he's like, so what? People die. People die. Who cares if they die?
Yeah.
Like, he says like some horrible line that he just made up on the spot. But it works because he has so much confidence as an actor. And then she's like, don't say that. And then she's leaving. And then he pulls her into the confession booth and he essentially rapes her in the confession booth. And I think he butt rapes her.
Oh, that is a...
That's good writing.
Because she's actually saying no. Like this time she's the other time she's been like, no, don't. And then she's like, oh, okay, fuck it, let's do it. But this time she's like, no. She really is like, I think she's a believer.
So you might say
she's like, don't curse in church.
This might be a gratuitous sex scene, but it's set up. She had wanted anal sex earlier. Now she gets to have anal sex in the confession booth.
Mm-hmm.
No, before that is the Coke and olive oil scene. Where they...
No. Yeah, that's
where
true.
He
that
turns
is
her over and is like, okay,
I thought it was after.
The church thing, after that, she's like done with him. Like she's she's like, that was too much. You ruined church for me. And he goes, this is our church.
You ruined.
That's what he said, right? When they're in the confessional before he does that, right before she's like,
some great sex lines. There's also the line where in the gate in the alleyway, she's like, he cares about poetry, and then Nicolas Cage puts his hand in her vagina, and he's like, "Isn't this poetry?
This is poetry." And it's like, no, dude, you're fucking in a nasty, humid ass alleyway. You know it's humid if it's raining.
But that kind of sex talk works with women. You know, I know, like not all the time, but
that's a good line. It worked on me too.
The girl's into it. You could just say stuff like that. Try it.
Yeah. I mean, it's all about like saying the, you know.
Oh, I've done Kermit the Frog impression. I've done weirder
doing.
Shit for sure.
That's a conversation.
This is poetry.
Is that your Kermit?
This is poetry.
This is poetry. That's a weird one.
I think
I'm
it's
a frog
this
puppet.
Poetry, guys.
No, he said this is poetry.
Isn't this poetry?
Isn't this poetry?
Something like that.
It's beautiful. I mean, that was the only time I really teared up.
His little puppet hand reaches under a woman's skirt.
His little felt green.
Slowly, like the shot. It's like enters the shot and goes in the skirt.
I'd like it if you didn't wear any underwear under that.
Son, this is poetry. And he puts a Coke bottle up his ass.
Yeah. You can put it too. You ever see the Kermit version of Goatsy? Like, you just ever see that picture? Yeah, that's a good one.
That's great. That's a good one, Adam.
It's a good joke.
Any other funny memes you want to bring up?
No.
Adam is like twitching and shaking. His hands are like vibrating. He's like looking off camera. He's basically having like
What's
a
happening,
Shining Kid style meltdown.
What is happening? Breathe.
An old black guy I met is like telepathically communicating with me right now.
What?
I mean, isn't that what happens in The Shining?
Oh,
I was like, what?
I thought he was like zoned out because he was talking to.
Did you get a little more high, Adam?
Sorry, guys.
I've never seen The Shining.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, the Coke and the olive oil. So
it's not olive oil.
It
Yeah, it
was.
is.
It was like cooking oil. He went into the
What do you
kitchen
think
and
it is?
grabbed it. It wasn't like lotion. It wasn't like body oil because he literally went. Because I thought that too.
So
I was
this
like,
is
is that
a-
like coconut oil? But I also use coconut
sure
oil.
it's not honey?
No, yes, because when he pours it onto the Coke, you can tell that it's olive oil.
Who has like a
'Cause
big
I thought-
bottle of honey?
I thought it was syrup, and that's an olive oil. What do you call it? Container. Because I
read
thought
online-
honey.
See, I thought actually,
syrup.
I did think it was
Sorry.
olive oil at first, but then I read online that it was honey, and I was like, I want that to be true.
It
Oh,
could, I
really?
mean,
Can you imagine
It-
using
it's
just a
honey as a
mess.
lubricant?
that's why I
That
don't
sounds
think.
not good. It's not
Sounds
oil.
fucking. That sounds nice.
And you can
dude.
use like olive oil or
Honey.
vegetable oil.
Oil's
Coconut oil is the best though. Use that.
Imagine a
Get
nice
it-
slow
Or like
stroke
lube.
of your cock covered in honey.
Well, yeah, you can use coconut oil as a lube. It's organic. It's natural. But I was
Slow,
thinking
sticky.
instead of lotion.
yeah, sticky. Honey's too
Coconut oil.
sticky. You know,
that's
sticky
what they
dick.
want, dude. They want that sticky D.
We gotta put butter in it also. You gotta melt butter.
That might feel good for the girl too.
So I've got a question. Was it
Woman.
because he stirs it around and she goes, I don't want to do drugs. And
He's
he
like, "You're-
goes,
You're not doing
You're
drugs. But then he puts cocaine on her vagina, which
mixes
is
it with the oil. Is it
which
is it
is
vagina
doing
or
drugs.
butthole?
It's
all the whole
butthole.
air.
Because he put
Butthole.
he-
He's putting it in her butthole. It's the
because he
anal
did it
lube,
and
is what we're
he
saying.
didn't go in. He like backed up and kind
He
of went
pinkied her.
He like pinkied her. like,
Oh yeah,
but in a
because
punch-
this is also another scene
like a
that
He
is
punch
just
motion.
pinkied her. That's it.
this is a reference to the scene in Last Tango in Paris where he puts the butter on his finger and sticks his finger up her asshole.
Is this a Nicolas
Sure.
Cage movie?
It's a riff off of
Marlon
it.
Brando.
It's a riff.
Oh,
This is a sign. This has got to be signed for something, by the way. Getting pinkied.
it's signed for yeah. It's
Yeah.
signed for
And he
putting
pinkied
olive
me.
oil and cocaine.
It's a very benign sign for how
Pinky my
horrible of
butt.
an act you're referencing. Just do a little pinky, like one pinky up in the air.
Yeah.
This is an audio podcast also, so you should describe it.
Yeah,
Right, right.
we're described the sign.
It's kind of like a thumbs up, but you're using your pinky.
Yeah.
And there's a little sway to it.
It's kind of like what's this when you pump your fist forward and you go, oh right, let's do this.
I would
What's
call it a
that
flick of the
motion?
wrist.
So
Oh yeah,
It's a flick of the wrist.
it's a flick of the wrist with the pinky out. It's a fancy flick.
That's how you pinky someone.
but this is like this sex scene goes on, and it's such a big scene, and there's a lot of other things he's doing to her also. Like he's putting paint on her.
That's after the fact.
He's just like,
That's like pillow talk is when he starts putting the paint on her.
and these two actors both feel very comfortable on camera
Yes.
naked, doing all this sexual stuff. There's
I
like
wonder, do you
no
think that the woman is like
insecurity.
Well, she's
into Nick
naked.
Cage and stuff?
I think she wanted her big break.
Absolutely. I think she.
No, do you think there's
is-
real chemistry? If Nick
Yeah,
Cage
there's-
is like
no,
trying
there
to
is
do
real
this
chemistry,
sex
but also
thing.
there's like, I think she knows these scenes are working, and she's like into the
Right.
scene.
yeah.
She's not. She doesn't
She-
care about
she
being
was
naked
made-
on camera.
But no,
She
no.
maybe was the best actor. Well, Nick Cage is
yeah,
Nick
she's really good.
Cage,
She's the protagonist of the movie too. That's cool. She's the lead.
and
Um,
she's just like naked the whole time. So she's clearly comfortable.
But
Yeah, sure.
Judge
She wants-
Reinhold does not look comfortable naked. Look,
Yeah.
every sex scene with him, he just wants it to end as fast as possible.
Which could be
Just picturing him standing by the window.
which could be good acting because his character literally was
Yeah.
having trouble having
However,
good casting. I would
Brian.
call that good casting.
Then I guess she breaks it off. Nicolas Cage rapes her at the church. Then Nicolas Cage sees Judge Reinhold at a bar. He's saying like, I think Zandalee's having an affair. I don't know who the guy is, but also tomorrow we're going out to the bayou to like, they're gonna
rekindle our relationship.
yeah,
But he goes, I don't know. It could even be you.
right.
It seems like he knows.
And
I
Nicolas Cage
didn't,
is
I
like,
didn't realize that it was immediately after that
whoa.
that happened.
So
Pretty
But they
cool. I
went
mean,
to
who
the-
knows?
to
Who
the
knows what
bayou.
trying to
time-
wrap up the movie, Adam.
Yeah, who knows what the time frame is? But
So then they go out to the bayou. They're hanging out in a speedboat, and they were like flirting on the beach. And that night,
it looked like it was going well.
Judge Reinhold finally has sex with Zandalee, and he's doing it
His
missionary
wife.
style. And he's like
Judge,
on top of
Judge,
her,
Judge.
like
Yeah.
pumping her like a circus seal.
Yeah, that one was weird.
See his ass again.
And after all this, like going back to what you said, Ryan, like, no, he's it's good acting because he doesn't enjoy having
I would say
sex.
it could be. I wasn't saying it was.
You think that
Well,
that's
now
what you
in
thought
the,
that was the
here's
sex
the
in
scene where he finally is getting the
Got his
relationship back
confidence.
together.
Yeah.
And then like he's banging her really hard, and then she says, "You see, our parts do work."
Mhm.
Oof. This whole movie, Judge Reinhold produced a
She's
movie
like-
where he was like,
She's like, "I never knew if my part worked."
yeah,
And he's
that
just
would
like
suck.
staring
Imagine
at
having to go
like,
back to Judge Reinhold after
I know
getting
you've been banging.
and she just has like
the Nick.
Nicolas Cage's like finger, like his handprint, just permanently like bruised on her ass. Like she has like sex scars all over her body from all the violent sex she's been having with Nicolas Cage.
There's like part of his mullet. She starts growing a mullet.
There's like bite marks, and there's just like
Paint,
like
residue, like paint. You don't think her like being like
Yeah.
coming home? It's not even like it's kind of the equivalent of lipstick, but it's like paint is such a specific like. Is that acrylic paint? What fucking professional painter? You're not even having sex with a professional painter? And their cable bill has been reduced. So it's like, are you fucking a cable guy? You fucking a guy that paints and is a cable guy.
there's just
And
mullet
there's
hair
mullet hair
in her pussy, just like he's going down on her. Just Judge Reinhold finds like a 18-inch
Isn't this
long
poetry?
string of gross hair.
This is mullet.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
you find
really
hair
long
out of the
Nicolas
drain,
Cage
and there's
hair.
just like paint and shit on it.
You got a little Spanish pirate beard hair on your belly. Where the hell? Who
So-
could it be?
The next day, they're out in the bayou because it's a little weekend trip. Judge Reinhold goes to a bar to like get some drinks, get some snacks.
Yeah, it's like a bodega type.
And then
lake
Nicolas
bar.
Cage is there, confronting him.
In the corner, already 6 beers deep. On the table, there's just like 4 or 5 different empty beer bottles.
And it's at
He
that
goes, "You're
moment, Judge Reinhold. Yeah.
Go.
No. But at that moment, Judge Reinhold knows. But it is funny to think about Nicolas Cage just like, all right, better get to that bar. Just get drunk by myself.
Because that was their old.
Oh, I thought he was
Him and Nick Cage used to hang out on
following
that.
them.
He did, yeah. Him and Nick Cage used to hang out. That was like their hangout spot as kids, where they fished.
Yeah.
And that's where they did not do a good job of describing this in the movie or acting it out, but it's supposedly that's like full of good memories with their friendship.
Oh, okay.
That was their hangout spot.
That's quite poetic.
So then they go out on the pier.
Isn't it poetry?
They go out on the
isn't
pier,
it
and
poetry?
Zandalee's there, and she's like, "Oh shit!" There's Nick Cage. Judge Reinhold knows, and then there isn't. It's not like
Right.
they're playing music, but there is like a song started in the bar that is now carried over into the outside scene, and then Nicolas Cage and Judge Reinhold do like a waltz. They do.
Well, he
like,
goes,
Yeah,
do
like
you-
a
he goes,
Cajun
"Do you s-
waltz.
He goes, "Do you still remember?" Like a Nick Cage
Bayou waltz.
waltz. He goes, "Do you
They
still
keep
remember the
saying
movie?"
"coon-ass" also, which is an
Oh my
insult for
God.
Cajun people. Coon-ass.
And what is that? Just like white trash?
Yeah.
Coon-ass.
Redneck.
Cajun,
It sounds
they call
it sounds very racist.
Sure.
I thought it was a racial slur.
That's you should tell the Cajuns that.
Is
They
it?
might be embarrassed.
No, it's simply an innocent
Against
reference to
Cajuns.
raccoons. They're like, you're acting like a goddamn raccoon, Ryan.
Oh, I see.
So it is.
That's a real
racist.
insult, right? Yeah, I think
thought it
is
was like
I think it
I
is
thought it was
racist because
redneck.
why would you like? How
You
dare you
call-
call me a raccoon? But they call raccoons coons.
But coon ass is like a coon. Like in the South, there you do call a raccoon a coon. Going like a coon.
Yeah, I mean, you do it in the Midwest too,
Coon
and you
hunt.
probably do it in the North, and you probably do in the West too.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
Anyway,
It's like
Racism can be
Southern.
everywhere, Adam.
No.
Anyway.
So you call it raccoons, and like raccoons are in the garbage and stuff. So you're like, oh yeah,
Yeah, it's like white trash.
Literal.
I don't know if it's related. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
it
saying.
has nothing to do with any other racial insult. It's
I'm
the
just
South. It's the South,
It's
Adam.
the South.
You said
Forget about it. It's swamp talk.
It's
It's,
the,
swamp talk.
very accepted.
Now he's like
Swamp-
furiously
swamp talk.
googling it,
South.
trying to look it up, trying to prove his idiotic theory is
I'm
correct.
not trying to prove.
Swamp-
I'm just trying to.
Swamp talk is Adam's. It's
He goes on a
locker room
website with a
talk.
giant
It's
Confederate
fine.
flag. They're like, "It is okay to say coon ass. It is not a racial slur. It is part of our heritage."
Well, it's not something they.
My uncle says
Swamp
kunas.
Talk, baby.
I'm looking, and it says
Welcome to Swamp Talk.
it has a Wikipedia page actually.
Yesterday, unfortunately, I said the term kunas live on the radio.
Very sorry.
I just want to say that
Every episode of
I
Swamp
meant
Talk is an
no
apology
racial
about
harm.
the last episode. There's one episode of Swamp Talk, and it's the first episode, and then every episode after that is an apology about the episode prior to that.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's quit this one. Let's start Swamp Talk.
hello, everybody. I just want to apologize for yesterday where I called Adam Bauer's mother a cunt.
Apparently, in my episode where I was apologizing for calling somebody a cunt, I need to apologize in that apology for saying something that I shouldn't have said about bushes, about pissing in bushes.
Okay, there's a few.
No one cares, Adam. So anyway,
Okay, so
they
do this
start slow
4-minute
dancing.
4-minute waltz. It goes on for too long, and it's beautiful.
It's actually a really
Such a
great
good scene. Yeah.
It really
is
works.
actually
And
a
this
pretty
is-
good scene.
Judge Reinhold not speaking seems to do a much better job acting. And like
Well, this is he's crazy now. He's like lost his freaking mind
Yeah.
because
he gets
his
to act
wife
like Nicolas
got
Cage now.
cucked.
Yeah.
Jesus.
He gets to show off his awful acting
He
skills.
should have acted like that the whole time. He should have been kind of crazy the whole time.
He was
Instead of
just
so
depressed,
bland.
and then
Didn't
he's
believe that
crazy,
he was a poet.
manic, crazy.
Yeah,
he should have
I
been an
didn't believe he was a
attractive
poet.
guy who actually looked like he could bang a woman. Then
Why
it
would
have
Judge
been more-
Reinhold produce that movie though?
Because then it
Serious
would be
actor
cool,
credit.
like, oh, that guy. Because that's like the thing in Bonnie and Clyde with Warren Beatty. Like, he can't get it up.
I've never seen that one either.
But it's cool because he's like a sex symbol as an actor. It's like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, interesting.
I think Tom Cruise would have been a great Thierry Martin.
Tom Cruise is an amazing actor, and he's like a dedicated method dude. Like
Yeah,
he
that would've been
learns.
cool.
He's crazy. He's an insane person.
And he's sexy as all hell.
Amen.
I don't want to go on a Tom Cruise rant, but there
Hey.
was one of the Mission Impossibles. He learned how to fly a helicopter and how to do helicopter stunts, and he filmed the helicopter scene where he dives down and does like a 360 and then flies up. Tom Cruise is the only one in that helicopter, so he's
Yeah,
controlling the camera, filming himself. So he's directing, filming, acting, and doing the stunt all at once, and it's one of like the most dangerous. I mean, I don't know anything about helicopters, but it's
What do you
supposedly one of the
Controlling
most
the
dangerous.
camera.
Because there's just a camera on like the windshield aiming in like selfie mode.
Oh,
There's, like,
okay. So he set the
there's-
camera.
there's 2
You're saying
cameras. No, they set it and mounted it, and he has. I don't know how what the equipment is, but he's the only one filming. They hit record, and then he takes off on the helicopter.
Okay,
and
but he's not,
Tom
like,
Cruise is nuts. He could have
controlling
died
the
in
camera.
every. He does too many stunts. He's like Jackie Chan, dude. He's doing stunts.
He is. I've had that.
He's
thought as
crazy.
well.
He's an insane
He's
person. And
calling
he spent
Jackie
He's
Chan
authorities
that
on
paved the
communist
way.
protester or on
Yeah.
probably. He's jumping
he's a
up and down.
sellout.
on
He sells
Oprah's.
out his own countrymen like Jackie Chan.
He's jumping up and down. He kind of sold us out in that Oprah scene when he
He's
was
cutting his son out of the will like Jackie Chan.
He doesn't represent us. He represents Scientology. He's doing.
Okay, the thing about
Scientology.
Jackie Chan cutting his son's will out, he holds up his will and he goes, "The day you can grab this piece of paper out of my hand, son, is the day you've earned it." And then he just does a bunch of Jackie Chan shit,
That'd be cool.
and he makes his son beat himself up.
Yeah, I wish the news would tell us that part instead of just
Or
giving
film
us-
it, dude. That would be cool.
I mean, that makes sense. You know, that's the way knowledge is passed down in
In the Chan
Hong
in the
Kong.
Chan clan.
Yeah.
Adam looks like he has the paraplegic of the soul right now too. He's just leaning
Okay, so
in
they're
the corner of
waltzing
in his
on a
Zoom
rocking
office,
chair.
just sad.
I'm not sad. I'm just.
He's just in a weed shame spiral.
I'm trying to focus. That's all. Trying to get on track. I'm not in a weed.
Okay,
spiral.
so they're waltzing, and
yeah. Thank you.
They waltz, and then Judge Reinhold pulls out a gun, points it at them,
Yeah.
and then he smiles and points it at himself. He's like, maybe I'll kill myself. And then he's like, get on the boat. So then they get on the boat.
he's basically holding him hostage with his crazy at this point, right?
Yeah, and Nicolas Cage is driving the boat.
Well, he fires the gun.
Oh, he's,
Like
he's firing, but he's
Fired-
like behind
before
them.
they get on the, he's like, it's loaded. I
Yeah,
think
that's
that's what
cool.
he was proving.
Yeah, he's fired, but it's a little itty bitty gun.
It's
like-
a 6-shooter.
It's a baby gun. It's a baby 6-shooter.
It's never enough for you, dude.
Yeah, but I mean, a bullet from a baby gun will kill you just as good as a bullet from a big gun.
No,
Yeah.
it's not. That's not true.
Right.
Bullets and guns are not equal.
I mean, a gun. If you shoot yourself in the head with any gun, it's gonna kill you.
Not necessarily.
I mean, I
What
get
are you
you have a
if you-
point.
if you
but
There
shoot
are
yourself-
Ryan,
guns that
just say-
won't.
just admit
There
that he
are
has a
guns
point.
that aren't. Not
you
every
shoot yourself
suicide attempt
correctly.
is fatal.
No, I know. You got to shoot yourself correctly.
Ryan,
You
it's
ju-
a shitty gun. Okay.
Yeah. But it's
I'm
not
just
like we're
telling
living
you,
in
it looks
frickin'
like
Abraham
a-
Lincoln assassination era where you died 2 days later. He still died from the gun. It was a shitty gun, and he still died from the.
Yeah. It took you
Gunshot.
that long to die, though.
But a majority
you
of
say?
suicides, you survive.
It's a shitty
Shooting yourself in
gun,
the face.
and it matches this cuck character very well.
It
Yeah.
really does.
So then they're on the
His gun is
speedboat.
paraplegic of the bullets.
Yeah, and he's swerving. They're swerving around.
His bullets are impotent.
He's firing
Yeah.
his little 6-shooter, and then Nicolas Cage kind of turns aggressively, and then Judge Reinhold falls off the boat.
Well, Judge is controlling the gun, and Nick goes, "How about you let me take over?" And then he
Oh,
starts,
and Nicolas Cage is like trying to get Zandalee to like leave with him too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
wants her to
'cause
move
it's-
in.
Yeah, because it's all out in the open now.
So
But she's learned that he's like
also crazy.
been like fucking other ladies too.
no, he hasn't.
He got like voicemails.
The,
She heard like the
was good.
voicemails in her.
the voicemail
But the-
said, "Hey, where are you? I want to
I
bang."
miss
It's-
you.
It's
Yeah,
Marissa Tomei
Oh, I
from
see,
the
I see.
dinner party.
I see. Well, why did she get really mad and shit? And like,
because she loves her husband.
She was jealous.
She's renewed her love for her husband.
I
She was
see, I see.
jealous. She was jealous, angry, horny, confused.
Catholic
Horny and
guilt.
confused. It's a tough
Catholic
combo.
guilt.
Yeah, yeah. There's that.
Here's the
weird
thing about
religious
Nicolas Cage.
element of
He's a
that.
great fuck, but he doesn't understand poetry.
No,
Yeah.
he's a painter. He's
Okay.
an acrylic painter.
He's a wild acrylic painter.
So then Nicolas Cage is like, "Don't rescue Judge Reinhold," and then she's like, "No," and then she dives into the water.
Because he's
Himself.
letting himself sink. Judge.
Because we learn later that he can swim. He's a great swimmer, but he lets himself drown. And there's a really funny shot of him like going
wrong.
underwater, like spitting up bubbles. It's like
Yeah.
bloop, 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 bloop. It just looks like everything in this last scene with Judge Reinhold's so fucking bad.
Yes.
It's like-
it's so bad.
Why
His
does he-
monologues, his ranting, him acting
Yeah.
crazy with his like crazy eyes.
He's
he can't
screaming
do it.
on the boat. He was really trying to mirror Nick Cage for.
It's
Sure.
too bad that it's Judge Reinhold.
Tom
Like,
Cruise would have nailed it.
Yeah, Tom Cruise would have nailed it.
Oh yes.
In fact,
Um,
you couldn't even cast Tom Cruise as a guy whose dick couldn't get hard. It would be impossible to.
Sure, sure.
But this was
He looks like his
91.
dick's
Tom,
always
Tom
hard.
Cruise was like way too big for a movie like this at that point, right? In 91.
Tom Cruise
Oh, I
has
mean,
the
he was in like
intensity.
Born 4th of July. Like he was
When was
He's-
Cocktails? Late 90s.
89. He was
He was on the up.
he's on the up. I mean, look, Nicolas Cage is a big star. He's in this. So
He was, yeah. But I mean, it's also look at all the movies Nick Cage has done.
It's
unfortunately,
a different time though.
Judge Reinhold dies. He drowns. He's dead.
Self drown.
That's the big thing. That's the climax.
That's the life of a New Orleans poet.
Yeah, so, exactly.
Drowning in
Oh
the
Jesus!
bayou.
What did he say when Nick Cage was like, "Dude, you're acting like a crazy white trash dude or whatever."
Coon ass.
Coon ass.
Yeah, and when you're in the bayou's in you. He
Right.
They
screams
come
or
for
something.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you come to the bayou,
That's
bayou
exactly
come
how he
for
said it.
you, and he said it just like
For
that.
you.
And I was like, "Oh, this dude has lost it."
This guy's got a good accent, but he's lost it.
Oh, and he bites Nick Cage's neck while Nick Cage is trying to save him.
Yeah, he like won't let Nick Cage save him, but he does like a weird
He
neck bite
wants
thing.
to die.
Can you drown yourself like that?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, what does she say in the boat before
People
she goes and
drown
dives after
themselves.
him? It's really hard to do that though, I think. But she
Yeah,
says
I mean, you have
something
to,
like,
he didn't even
Yeah,
put
but if
any
you
rocks
want
in
to
his
die, you
pockets.
can do it.
I'm sure you
I
can
don't
find a
know. I
way.
feel like you bail. Almost everybody would bail.
It'd be like instincts would kick in or whatever.
Yeah,
That's why you put rocks in your pocket so you can't get up.
right.
You can
Maybe
do
he
it,
had rocks
Adam.
in his pocket. Maybe that's why he couldn't carry a bigger gun, is because his pockets were already full of big rocks.
We should have a drowning contest.
I'm not going to lose these rocks.
We should have a drowning contest. See,
They're
out of
good
the three of
rocks.
us, which one of us can get the closest to drowning?
Yeah,
All right.
that's a good idea for a contest.
Oh, my cardio is effed right now. I'd probably be out in 5 seconds. I used to be a swimmer too.
I feel like
But you have to drown.
Yeah, I'm saying I would win
Who could drown first
easily. Me.
out of the three of us? No way,
Dude,
man.
I could win this. I haven't been working out at all. I'll just fucking sink like a stone. I
could
won't
die
even
way
fight you.
faster.
I mean,
than
it's all about lung capacity. Your lungs are nature's life jacket. Air makes you float. Adam, you're fucked, dude. All that weed you've been smoking. You know, weed sinks. Weed smoke sinks. You haven't heard that?
Oh, damn.
Adam would just get confused and just would forget and then just die.
What are we doing?
he would
zone
try
out.
to swim to the surface, but he'd start swimming down, just get really disoriented, confused. What?
Just swimming into the bottom of the
What's
pool.
going on? Yeah, probably.
See? The audience. He wants to die. Adam is Judge Reinhold.
No way.
So
I'm Nick Cage. You're a Judge Reinhold. And Ryan is Zandalee.
No, I am freaking.
Ryan kind of looks like
I'm
Nicolas
Pitt.
Cage. He's got the
That's
long
true.
hair.
You could rock one of those
I'm an
Jack
artist, dude.
Sparrows.
Dude, I'm a really bad artist.
So then
He's a
now
good
everyone,
artist.
things are not the same anymore. Judge Reinhold's dead. Zandalee visits him.
She thinks she did it. Yeah. Oh, we didn't even talk about Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi's
He
in
is
the
the
movie.
best. He's the best character. He's in like
Wait.
4 scenes.
Yeah, what's the deal with that?
Well, he was like he's in prison and works as a garbage collector.
a prison garbage?
But
Yeah, apparently that's a
who is
community.
he?
He's a funny guy. He's like
He's one of the
comic
local flavor of New Orleans.
He's like the Rob Schneider character in like the Adam Sandler movie. The You Can Do It guy.
pretty much, but it's like Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, he's
so
a
it's
townsperson.
Good. It's so
Sure.
good.
Sure. It's interesting. I don't know.
He's constantly
He's
getting.
wise.
He's in prison working as a garbage man. Then you see him stealing a radio, getting pursued.
He
by
was
the
still in
police.
prison. He was still in his prison uniform.
Yeah, and then he's in the
Very fun,
graveyard at the
playful.
end.
That-
Yeah.
They have a little exchange, and she's crying. She's sad, and it's
Right.
raining. He's like, "So, what happened?" She's like, "My husband died."
Yeah, he goes, "You look like shit. What happened?"
Yeah.
And I'm standing
my
in the middle of a
husband
grave
died.
crying. What do you think happened?
Also, why are you here?
He walks up
If
and he
you're not
goes,
mourning somebody.
"Do you got any money?" He asked her
Anybody?
for money,
Right.
and
In a
he's like,
graveyard?
I didn't carry any on me,
He would be a great Harley Quinn.
dude.
Yeah, Steve Buscemi.
He'd be a great Joker. Steve, he could be a great anything, honestly.
Batman. Just picturing him in the mask.
You got any money, Joker?
He just
Riddler,
starts
you got
using
any
a
money?
gun. He's like, fuck it.
Yeah.
He would do that. Man, we got to watch Barfly.
Of course.
That's by we watched
Barbette
his movie, that
Schroeder.
guy's. What's the movie we saw his?
Murder by
earlier?
Numbers.
Murder by Numbers, right?
Oh,
So-
same guy, huh?
Yeah, same
okay.
guy.
Okay, so there he gives her some wisdom. Some like he's the poet out of the whole thing, Steve Buscemi's character. There's a whole monologue with him at the grave.
Yeah, sure. Wow, that's true. Yeah, he was the real poet all along.
Okay, well, anyway, Nicolas Cage isn't doing as well. We see him
Okay.
in his art studio, and he's frustrated. He starts pouring,
He goes-
putting his hand in paint and starts wiping it on the canvas. Then there's
He
a
goes
shot.
crazy.
There's just a shot of like the wall and like 3 canvases, and then you just see like paint splatter coming in from off screen. Like he's just throwing it across.
Well,
the
he
No,
brought-
no, he has to. He's trying to make money because he has to
He
pay
brought
off
in
his
his
drug
old
dealer.
friend.
So he brought his.
yeah, the
he
guy
brought
from
this guy
Gremlins
back
and Waxwork.
didn't
Zach
respect,
Galligan.
and he like tried to
He plays
show, like,
Raj.
he was like, "Hey, like, here's my paintings. What do you think? Like, can you get me like a gallery showing or something like that?" And
Like,
And the guy's like, "No, this sucks." He goes, "That's your best one." He goes, "That's your best one, and it shows potential." So it's
no, he's like, "That's
he's
your."
like,
He's like, "That's an old one." He's like, "That. Oh, I like what you're doing in this one, but it's like one
Yeah.
that it's an old one."
And he
Nicolas
goes, "You have,
Cage-
but he's saying it's still not even good enough to sell. You have potential with the way your style's going with that one."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Call me when you have some more." And then he starts,
Nick-
he's like, "Fuck."
Nick Cage is like, "Get the fuck out of here!" And then he's like, "All right." And then he's like, "We're still getting coffee later." Like, "Yeah."
Or he goes, "You want a cup of coffee?" And he goes, "No." And he's like, "All right, be well, man."
Yeah, that
But
was
anyway,
really,
so Nick
that was a
Cage
really
is
good
now
scene.
frustrated.
really
His
good
paintings
scene.
suck.
Yeah.
After
So he-
ripping
he
apart his
rips it all up.
canvases and like smashing canvases, there's a shot of him just in the corner of the room. He just takes a bucket of paint and pours it on top of his
Black,
naked
but he just
body.
goes full black face with this. This is
Yeah.
why I
Black paint, yeah.
And then it must have been awesome to film. Like, it's better than any of the sex scenes in the
and you
movie.
know
Like,
that's one take.
Yeah,
'Cause,
for sure. For
'cause
sure.
it has to be a one take shot. Otherwise, they're not going to like let him go wash up, get another black
Yeah.
paint can.
So can I
It
do
probably
one more
wasn't. It probably wasn't even scripted. That seems like some Nick Cage
absolutely
improv.
not. Because this era of Nick Cage, he's just doing crazy things. Like in Vampire's Kiss, he eats a full cockroach. No problem. Like, eats it like in his palm. Like,
Jeez, dude, he was like the Tyler the creator of his.
That's
time.
awesome. I got to see that movie.
yeah, totally self-made guy.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like he's pretty much the best actor that came from nepotism.
Jesus, dude.
He steals.
also earns
he
it.
steals Peggy Sue Got Married.
He earns it. Like you're saying, like he eats roaches and shit. He does Fear Factor shit.
Yeah, he's like Steve-O. You know, Steve-O came
Yeah.
from a wealthy family.
He makes
and-
up for maybe not being a good actor by doing
he-
crazy shit.
No, he's a
I
great
mean,
actor.
you know, whatever, man. I just like they had a bucket of
Steve-O, yeah.
paint. I just put it over my head. Okay.
As I said, I'm losing my character's losing his mind.
He gives this amazing performance.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean,
Totally. That's a thing that always makes me think when an actor does that. It always makes me think about the scene of the opening of Apocalypse Now, where Martin Sheen is like going crazy in the hotel room, and he's like naked and like
absolutely.
I've never seen that movie either.
that seems like or like Nicolas Cage is like trying to do something like that.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody in the 90s was doing that as an actor. Not everybody, but you know, that was like the art of acting was to just go crazy on set.
Yeah. How good can you go crazy? You know what I'm saying?
And then you go on all the talk shows months after the movie comes out and you're like, well, I just, I planned that out for months and, I just got caught up in the character. And like Con Air, they wanted me to have short hair, but I said, no, I'm going to have long hair.
Yeah, totally.
It's like art. I mean, that's
really
poetry.
something. You grow your hair out long. That's crazy.
So like they wanted me to have short hair in Zandalee, and I was like, no, we're putting extension. We're putting clearly obvious wig
Come on.
just in the lower half. I said it, and I go, I'm Nick Cage.
You're pulling my
And I
leg
go,
here.
no
No
way.
way.
If I'm entering this movie, I'm doing a head swing. I'm gonna be a silhouette, and I'm coming in, and I'm doing a head swing.
Yeah, let's have a
And
round
I'm
of applause
sucking
for Nicolas Cage, everybody.
And I'm sucking some whipped cream. The director didn't want whipped cream in the scene where we're sucking those strippers' tits. But I said, we need to get a whipped cream gun. And he just starts talking
whipped
like a baby.
cream, huh? Kevin, you enjoy a nice whipped cream after work,
see
don't
what-
you?
That sounds like that's part of Jay Leno's like weird voice is that he pronounces R's like W's like that.
Yeah, I have a little whipped cream on some tits with Mabel later. Maybe.
He had a great career despite of that.
And then plays
Yeah.
his guitar.
Jay Leno should have played
Little
Terry
riff.
Martine.
Yeah.
I'm like a paraplegic of the soul. I can't write jokes. I'm blocked, Mavis.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the bow tie? What's the cherry on top for this film?
So at the end, Nick Cage and Zandalee. Nick Cage tries to fuck her again. It's just not the same.
She wants
I
to,
thought-
or she blames him for Judge Reinhold's death.
She blames herself.
She
And
blames
he
herself,
also
she blames him. The magic is gone. They can't do it anymore.
In so many words, the magic is gone.
She
But they
goes. She gets
try.
up, puts on a
And she
coat,
says
walks
his name.
outside.
Yeah.
They tried doing the name thing because she used to say like.
Nick
Nick Cage said like "say my
Say
name."
my name, yeah.
It's like,
And she said Tamari or whatever his name is. Tamari. Tamari soy
Tia
sauce.
Tamari.
That's Judge Reinhold's name. Is
Wow.
Tina
And
Tamari.
then that's how the cut to credits. Whoa, sister, sister. And then it just credits roll. That would have been a better movie.
Yeah.
So they go outside, Nick Cage and Zandalee, and then this red convertible pulls up, and this guy is like, yells something at Nick Cage, and then just shoots him to death.
It's the drug dealer that he
it's the
owed money.
voice from the answering machine.
Correct.
Right.
So
And the guy who he bought drugs from.
accounts payable or whatever he said.
Yeah. And it's
Nick
from
Cage
the,
has been doing a lot of coke, and
beginning.
he owes the drug dealers money, and so they kill him.
or do they?
He's
Devastating.
exclusively been doing the coke when I think he was supposed to be dealing it.
He's been putting it in asses.
He's been
That's why he's
mixing
been
it with.
going
They
through
go
it so fast.
on the voicemail. They go, "I've heard you've been mixing the coke with olive oil. The fuck, dude! Like, you just ruined half of that coke."
You get to be with
Anyways.
coke. You can be creative, though.
You know, anyways, you can. This is still the voicemail. Anyways, you could just pay us back with one of your paintings. Hope you didn't destroy them all.
You're a great art. We love your art.
We
really
love
think
your
you-
art. Hope you don't destroy it all. Or just give us back that can of black paint we lent you, and then
He's
we'll
coming
call
with
it
black
even.
paint. Like, fuck.
Yeah, otherwise we're gonna have to kill you, dude. But if you could just give us back that black paint, no
Yeah.
big, you know,
Well, this all makes sense
squash
because-
we'll squash this whole thing.
We as we already know, Nick Cage's family is extremely rich.
True. Yeah.
Didn't he say his father's a judge and a multimillionaire?
I don't
But,
remember. No,
campaign-
no. That's what Judge Reinhold said. Judge Reinhold's father
Yeah.
started as a radio DJ, and when he was 20, and by the time he was
Well, who's
30,
the judge?
he turned it into a multi-million-dollar
Right.
corporation.
But Nick
which
Cage
is
said
what
his
now-
father is a judge. His father's like old.
Oh,
money.
really?
His father's like old money.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a trust fund kid for sure. I
Right.
remember that.
And Judge
He has
Reinhold's
tons of
taking
money
over the
and can
family
pay off
business.
any.
Judge Reinhold
But
does not
Okay,
have
the
money.
point of what I'm saying is Nick Cage can easily pay off his debts. There's no reason.
But
for
also,
him-
like, think about this. Judge
He's an
Reinhold
artist.
Here we
it does
go.
not have
He's
money.
a tortured painter.
He came from, he had to take over his
He
dad's
does
business. And
His
so he's not
multi-million
able to-
dollar business.
But it's
He's
like
the vice president of his dad's He is rich.
it's multi-million
He's a
dollars.
rich. It's at least $1 million.
They're both rich
And
as hell.
Yeah, they're both super rich.
But Judge
Look at the
Reinhold
house he
has
lived in.
to take over for his dad.
No,
for
there's
this
no struggle.
company.
The only struggle for Judge Reinhold is that he's a tortured artist. He was a poet turned corporate. That's literally in the bio. That's his
Yeah.
biggest thing. And it's like, dude, you're a millionaire.
His father was a
You can
self-made
still do
man.
poetry. You can still do poetry.
That doesn't make him a self-made man.
Yeah.
I was
The
just trying to
struggle
point
is
out the
stupid. It's all
hypocrisy.
stupid.
I was just trying to point out the hypocrisy of
Yeah,
that
and you're
scene
wrong.
where Nicolas Cage is like, saying that if you worry about money, then you're not being really like creative. And
Yeah,
stuff.
he
It's
was-
like a
he's
dig
just a-
at Judge Reinhold.
He's literally just a douchebag that does a bunch of cocaine, paint, and
Yeah,
fucks
yeah.
people's wives.
His friend's dad just died, and then he fucks his wife.
And he goes, "Hey, I'm really sorry about it."
Yeah,
They should have kidnapped him.
he's a cool guy.
Been
He's
like, cash out
cool.
your father's bonds. Let's.
No, so
we know
the
you have
guy-
money.
the-
Let's.
Instead,
Don't
the
just
drug
shoot
dealer
him.
rolls up to Times Square, the New Orleans
Yeah,
Times
yeah.
Square, and points a gun
French Quarter,
from at least 100 yards away from the
Pistol.
street.
the smallest gun
a
possible.
pistol, a little. It's like a
lot of
9mm.
small guns in this
No,
game.
it was
in this
bigger
movie.
than the small gun, but definitely, this movie has small gun energy for
He
sure.
puts a Coke bottle
Yeah.
up his asshole and then does a magic trick where he shoots the base of the bottle
Wait,
across
bottle
the
up
French
his ass,
Quarter.
Mentos in the front.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were
That's
like,
the
get out of the
Mentos
way. He's gonna blow.
He's gonna blow.
Adam's
then
father
that's-
shows up with a little baby Adam. He's like, all right, now piss on him.
And the bottle
Do your trick,
flies
boy.
flies out of the dude's
Yeah.
ass, and Adam pees. Knocks
His
the
acidic
bottle
piss.
away, and the bottle goes into Zendaya's
Zatarans.
heart.
And then Zendaya, who's the
No, but
greatest
he-
actress who ever lived,
He pops her right in the heart.
she
People
jumps in
love
front
Zendaya.
of the bullet.
Yeah, but
He jumps in front of the base of the bottle. She jumps in front of the piss stream and she dies. It's
The
tragic.
bottle
Yeah.
gets deflected, but at the same time, Adam's piss stream gets a 90-degree turn and goes right through her chest.
Yeah,
And then Nick
He goes-
Cage is just devastated. He's like, "Oh man, I really wanted
And-
to fuck this girl."
Adam goes, "This is what I've been training you for. That bottle's the bush.
Adam's father says that.
Adam's father says that, and he goes, "That bottle's the bush."
Yeah,
And
that's
Adam,
cool.
and and then Adam goes, "Well, can I aim into the bottle so I can drink it after?"
Yeah.
All back to another episode. You see, we established
Every
earlier
episode.
that
At this
Adam
point, every
drinks urine.
episode, Adam drinks piss. He did once, and he will
I did
forever.
once.
Adam's not just full of boring facts. He's also full of warm urine that he's drinking on a daily basis.
No.
Wouldn't it be the funnest?
Just the facts.
Wouldn't it be the funnest feeling if, like, you were in the middle of a stadium
the
just
facts.
drinking your own piss and everybody was just cheering you on?
Yeah. Yeah,
Today I had the
that'd be fun.
funnest feeling in the world. I drank my piss
And everyone's going, drink,
What's wrong
drink,
with
drink.
in
And
the
then you're like,
round.
bring it-
in the round at Madison Square Garden.
and you're bringing up, and you're
People
bringing
just
up,
stand up.
I've
bring
now
up the
sold
cup
out
to your
40
mouth.
shows in a row.
You're teasing. It takes you 30 minutes to drink your own. You're like, whoa, bringing it up to your mouth, and everyone's like, do it. And then you pull it down. And you go, nah, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
I do it like Stone Cold, where he like gets on the turnbuckle and like smashes the two glasses of piss together and then pours it on
It
himself.
just rains over you.
Yeah, really like fizzy piss. Yeah,
I'd honestly pay like $90 maximum to watch
Maximum,
somebody.
maximum.
What are you doing this-
Somebody.
Tell
Definitely
us
not
about your
100.
show, young man.
I'd maybe
You're gonna
95.
drink piss in front of a Madison Square Garden is very impressive.
Thank you, Jay.
Sells out.
Everybody, let's
Every single
round of applause for Adam Bowers.
You basically, like, when I was on set, I was like, they wanted me to stick this Coke bottle up my ass, and I go, what if I drank piss while I did it? So I peed in a bottle, drank it, shoved it up.
Yeah.
I think you got a very bright future ahead of you, young man.
I'm thinking about buying a
That's how you
lizard
should
on
end
a
his
lizard.
interviews. I like how there was a lizard in this movie. There was a lizard in a scene in this movie.
Oh
'cause it was
yeah, and
in
she
New
tried to throw a
Orleans.
book at it,
Yeah, that sounds cool.
and he was trying to
Just let the
it
lizard
live.
Yeah.
Classic soft-hearted poet.
So what's
Yeah.
the message of this
Can't
movie?
get it up?
guys? What's the moral of the story?
What is it? None of it made sense to me. The whole time I was watching
it's
this
up to you.
movie,
It's a personal question. What does the movie mean to you, Ryan?
it means nothing. I hate when people get cheated on. I hate watching people get cheated on. But when it's Nick Cage, he makes it cool.
No,
what
it's
is
not
the
how
message?
you do you think
I think that my message for the movie is
I'm truly. I didn't get anything from this movie.
I think
What's the
I think what it's
message?
saying is that it's like the art. I think the crux of the movie is the art versus money scene conversation that Nick Cage and
well then that's what
Judge Reinhold
Zandalee's
and
choosing between the two men
Zendaya
also,
have.
right?
what's up?
The two
Oh,
men
okay, yeah.
represent creative versus safe and responsible.
But he is
Um,
also an artist. He was a successful poet who had
And he-
books published.
And he's like blocked because he hates
Yes,
his
but-
life because he has to work this job.
And that's correct. And also like they switch places sometimes, like the two. Each guy they're like mirrors. of each
Money
other.
issues. Like there's money. Nick Cage has money issues.
They're
Like
both creative. They both have money issues,
but they don't.
but sometimes they change and they compare. And
But
contrast.
they don't have money issues as far as lack of funds. They both are millionaires or whatever. I don't know. They're both.
I mean,
trust
if he's not,
funds.
if he's cut off from his trust fund, he's not getting money.
I mean,
Isn't
yeah,
that
rich.
what
There
happened?
are rich kids who get killed.
But
by
he
drug
can-
dealers. It happens.
So he can afford that big ass loft that he lives in and paints in, and just has a nasty ass mattress in the middle of it. You know he
Yeah.
doesn't clean that.
He just fucks
But he
on
can't-
the
but he-
mattress,
But he can't afford
on the
his
floor like a
his
dog.
8-ball a month cocaine habit.
Yeah, why is he owe so much? If he's
'Cause
just like getting like a little
he's just
thing
sticking
from,
it up everybody's freaking ass.
yeah,
He's doing a lot. He's on.
yeah, he's just
credit.
being really creative with it.
I got nothing from it.
Okay, so
I think it's about money versus art.
Yeah,
And-
totally.
well, the
or just
movie's
like the
essentially about you
how
have to
that's a
find
bullshit.
balance.
I think it's
You have to
I think
find
that the movie is
balance.
saying that that's a bullshit sort of thing to argue to what Nicolas Cage saying is like bullshit.
Nicolas Cage is the
That's what
worst
the
guy,
movie
and he's
is.
the only one that survives. He's literally the
No.
worst. Like, at least this dude, his poetry was
That's
good.
That's
quote,
poetry.
unquote,
ironic.
Good.
Isn't that
But
poetry?
that's the irony. See, like
Isn't that
Judge Reinhold is essentially the pure soul
Yes.
in the end.
Kind of.
Kind. I mean, that's what the movie's saying. Although I just
Because they did have that conversation
It's
about
skunk.
morality when at his job they were like trying to slumlord. He mentioned, oh, we're like basically slumlords because we agreed on this pricing, which was $4,900.
Lenny is inside. Sorry.
And he even said it to Nick Cage at one point where he's like, all you have at the end of the day is honor. And so he is the vice president.
He's
of
the most honorable person,
yeah,
and it eats away at him.
Wow, exactly, because he's working at a.
Whereas Nicolas
he's a
Cage
vice
is
president
fully
of a
dishonorable and is.
Can she hear us?
Nicolas Cage is
Your
dishonorable,
cunt wife, can
and
she
it
hear
doesn't
us?
bother him at all.
Did you hear what?
No.
Did she watch it with you?
Yeah. Oh, she watched like the first half.
And then she got too horny and had to go turn on the laundry.
Yeah. She went and masturbated in the bed.
She's like, "Cable guy's here."
It's while crying. Cable guys. You guys here to lay the cable. So yeah, that I guess it was just stupid. There was no
Deep message.
not even that. There doesn't need to be a deep message, man. I watched Birds of Prey.
I mean, it's a tragic love story.
Yeah, it is, and I hate that shit. But it's a cuckold movie.
It's an erotic threat like movie though, more than anything.
That's the message, right?
It's
But
a
here's the real message. The real
erotic.
message is be like Nicolas Cage. Do tons of blow. Be awesome. Fuck
the
anyone
left.
you feel like, and nothing bad will happen to you.
Yeah.
Don't pay your drug bills.
Because guys like
Get
that
off scot-free.
win every time. In real life,
Don't-
guys like that win.
Also, trust
In a-
fund kids
in
like
America,
can fuck
for
up
sure.
like that and
course.
never actually deal with consequences. Totally.
You could just bang some chick, treat her like shit, and then she'll take a bullet for you because
Yeah,
she feels
after her
she-
husband
she
also
didn't.
dies.
No, so she did not take the bullet for him. She wanted to die.
Exactly.
That was a suicide.
Even
she
better.
did not do
Even
it to.
better.
And then it's like,
No,
Damn,
no
guy.
guilt.
I guess I don't have to be the ghost in this situation. That's what Nick Cage said, and then credits rolled.
I don't have to be the ghost in this
Yeah.
situation.
He goes,
Yeah.
he goes, I guess this truly is poetry. Usually,
Like at the end of
I'm
Con
the
Air,
ghost.
when Cyrus the Virus is like, "You will be the ghost," and then Nick Cage goes, "Actually, I won't be the ghost in this situation."
Actually, in this situation,
Takes a Coke
I
bottle,
don't think I will be the ghost.
breaks the top off, and just shoves it up John Malkovich's ass and kicks him out a cargo plane.
And then credits roll to being John Malkovich.
And John Cusack is just like, "Whoa,
Is he
whoa,
in that
everything
movie?
blew up. Whoa." He's in Con Air.
Oh yeah, that's right. I turned Con Air off
What?
Wow.
after like 15 minutes.
Look at this idiot.
Is that 15 minutes in? Is that the scene where he's walking slow mo and his hair? is
Another-
blowing in the wind?
Awful
Nick
opinion
Cage?
by Adam Bowers.
I'm sorry.
Con Air's great.
Okay.
I
That's
turned
fine.
It off.
I don't have a
turned
strong
it
opinion about
off.
it. I just
didn't,
wasn't.
It
I didn't-
just
I
didn't work
couldn't-
for me.
I didn't like.
I ripped my TV off the
didn't
wall and
like
threw it
it.
out the window.
I just feel like I. couldn't-
Meanwhile,
I was like,
he's like, I don't want to watch
feel
this.
like this.
Turns it off,
Right now.
goes to bed. His mom comes out, takes that VHS tape,
Oh,
puts it
Jesus
on, and
Christ.
just starts rubbing it out to Nicolas Cage. That's.
I mean, I can
understand.
understand about Con Air. I can understand turning it off after you nut during the scene where he walks slow mo and his mullet is in the wind. I can understand because then
It's
like
just
you're
funny that
finished.
Adam
Yeah.
watched Con Air
But
at
at the same
35
time,
at 35
Adam-
years old by himself, and it's just like, this doesn't really work for me.
No, I was
and
watching.
in Adam's defense,
This
I
doesn't
don't
work for
remember
me.
anything about that movie. I've only seen it on TV when it
I
plays.
saw it once in the movie theater when it came out, and that was enough for me.
Is it a great movie?
Yeah, you don't even care.
It's not a great movie, but I didn't turn
It's
it
like
off.
a dad.
Oh, it's
It's
fine,
like a dad
but I mean,
movie.
in the age of streaming, it's like I'll turn it off. You know.
You know, in the age of streaming, you can be a giant
Okay,
gamer.
we
And
started about the age of
that's a
streaming.
fair point. That's a fair
Let's
point.
do
on Adam's
ratings.
part.
In the age of streaming,
Let's do ratings.
you can turn off cool movies willy nilly.
Oh, I gotta tell you,
Fuck.
real quick before we do the ratings, I watched Birds of Prey with my dad. The day before, they were playing Suicide Squad on TV upstairs, and he watched all of it with commercial breaks every 7 minutes. So he watched
HBO
Suicide.
Max the whole time.
He watched Suicide Squad in the age of streaming with
think I've-
commercials.
Yeah. Yes.
I haven't. I've streamed it and I haven't watched it, and I've tried watching it 2 or 3 times, and I just couldn't finish it.
Yeah, I also
and
turned off
that's-
Suicide Squad.
Superhero movies are
I
my
don't want
life.
to.
I'll watch the worst.
It's
of
really, really shitty.
So your
And
dad's
so
more
while-
hardcore than you.
While we're watching Birds of Prey, he goes, "Nah, I still think Suicide Squad's better." He said that about an hour in.
My brother loves
And I was
Suicide
like,
Squad.
with
He saw it in Japan.
commercials.
He had a layover in
That's
Japan,
amazing.
and
And it's like that's a funny thing to
and
say.
he
That
watched it in the
rocks.
movie theater in Japan. And he said a guy yelled at his girlfriend in the middle of the movie in
Why?
Japanese.
So
Oh,
that's
nice.
why he liked it.
It's like, this is awesome.
This is,
Cool
this
movie
is
for cool guys.
This is literally causing people to break up.
Yeah.
So,
That's
Adam,
right.
Brian, what rating would you give this film out of 5 stars?
I mean, Adam, come to me last because I'm conflicted again. It's the Gary Oldman situation with The Firm. It's like Nick Cage. I want to give him 5 stars on pretty much any movie.
For sure. I mean, he deserves it. You know, he's
He's a spectacle.
yeah, but
Well, I
people
gave
kind
the
of
movie-
act like it's like a shitty or like a funny thing to make fun of him about, but it's actually really good.
Yeah, he's awesome in the movie. I gave the movie 4 stars because I
I
loved
would
it.
go for.
I love sex movies, and Nicolas Cage is awesome in it. And it's not a boring movie. This movie is watchable.
Well,
It kind of gets boring after Judge Reinhold dies, but you kind of have to see this movie just to watch
yeah,
it. 'cause
it
it's
could have
so
been
nuts.
15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes shorter.
It's really hard to convey how fucking crazy Nicolas Cage is in this movie. How wild his like completely out of control moments are when he's smashing the paintings, when he's like having sex, yelling at the top of his lungs, just like
Yeah.
ugh, ugh, ugh.
It
And he's
is-
just like
it
his
is-
arms are like he's like doing push-ups on her.
Yeah. Oh, he's
Just
just
like on
jacked,
a-
too. He's healthy in this movie.
When he pours olive oil on the cocaine and just like butters her up and does her from behind, both holes.
That could have been an improvisation as well. Oh no, I guess he does drugs in the movie. Good.
But he's like blocking out his own scenes. He's like
yeah.
relishing
He's
in
Jeff
it.
Goldbluming this like in Hideaway.
Mm.
He's a lot better than that. He's crushing. He's
Wait.
not.
Yes,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah,
working.
yeah.
But it's like
No, I
it's
see
like
what
an
you're
actor,
saying, yeah.
a star recognizing that he's better.
Well, he's taking. It's a movie star taking over a
Yeah,
bunch
exactly.
of weaklings on set because he's like, I'm the cool fucking movie star.
Yeah,
Whatever the fuck I want to do is actually what we're gonna fucking do on this movie.
He's
Okay?
Crazy Cage.
I'm not
He's
surprised
And,
that happens.
Hey Mavis, I'm the talk show host. Now you do what I say.
I'd go 4. I would
Yeah,
even
I would go 4
I'd
as
probably
well.
go 4.5. Honestly, I'm probably going to rate
Yeah.
it 4.5 because there was you just saying that gave me that extra half star. But
I was gonna give it higher, but I'll say this: Judge Reinhold is so dreadful that it really like his scene.
Judge Dredd, huh?
Judge Dreadhold.
Just
I
Dredd.
gotta
Judge
fast forward
Dreadhold.
through his
Dreadful.
boring scenes. Judge Dreadful.
It's too bad. Yeah.
Axel.
I mean,
What do you think
don't
about?
beg my wife.
there was
this-
moments where
Go
I
ahead.
didn't even feel like Nick Cage was acting. That's the kind of situation
So
where it's like
fucking
you
good in
kind
this movie.
you kind I don't know
Oh,
if
no.
that if good is the
Yeah,
right
he
word.
looks
just-
ridiculous, but
he plays
just-
himself.
He has so much charisma.
and he looks crazy. I don't even know if charisma is the word. Confidence, you said earlier, that's a better word than charisma.
Confidence,
and where
is
you're
charisma.
like-
if you have confidence, you have
Mhm.
charisma.
No,
What is a really unconfident guy who's like super charismatic?
I mean Adam Bowers confidently puts on his toe
Woody Allen.
spreaders. Adam Bowers confidently
That's
drinks a glass of
charismatic.
piss in front of everybody, and
If
no,
you can get away with it,
confidence
you're
is
very
not
charismatic.
charisma.
You guys are just saying I'm really charismatic. That's the point. Your ultimate point you're making.
Adam
right?
is.
I have the charisma.
Adam
to
doesn't
pull it
just
off.
look like Judge Dreadful. He acts like Judge Dreadful. He's a whiny, depressed.
He does
Not
not look
whiny.
like him.
I'm not whiny.
News. He just makes you want to snooze. You know.
You aren't whiny. I'm more whiny than you are.
I feel like I'm not whiny.
Adam's a whiner. He complains a lot.
Well, like what? What have I complained about?
I have
Challenge
bad
this.
feet. I have a bad brain. I have a bad back. I
Well-
have a bad body. Oh.
I mean, oh, Jesus, my cats are fucking going nuts for around.
I mean, how do you not?
Jesus Christ, my cats are going nuts.
William, how do you not think those things after watching Nicolas Cage in this movie? We're
We gotta
inferior.
wrap it up soon, guys. Hold on a sec.
once we start clowning on Adam, we got to wrap it up. We got to
wrap it up.
Yeah, that's what's
Every
coming
time. Every time this guy.
I
What's your rating?
cue my baby to come into the
He
room.
said 4 stars.
Needing to be like
I gave
changed
it
or
3,
something.
4.
Just like father making you piss on the bushes, you're making your kid piss his diaper,
Yeah.
so you can
Or
get
do
out
it-
of
do it
your
at 2
podcast.
or do it at 3 so I can
So when do you dig
What's
into the
your rating?
garbage can and sniff the diaper?
You throw them
I-
away?
I do
Keep
kind of
them.
I am kind of fond of my baby, a dirty diaper for my own baby, I must say. It's already like I don't mind it. Let's say that. Right?
It's just like a little pudding. It's like a crate.
No, I'm saying like the smell of it is just
I'm
like
never having a kid. I'm marrying somebody that
gross when
already
it's
has
another
a kid
person's
that's
kid.
at least out of diapers, 5 years old.
he's cute.
When I was
Everything-
a nanny, my literally my thing was no diapers, 5 and older. That's all I would nanny.
Yeah, I mean diapers kind of suck. It's not that big. You get over it. It's fine. It's a baby. They're sweet.
You ever do a little
Little
taste
angels.
test? Remember?
Dude, I don't
like,
even wipe my own ass. I'm not gonna wipe somebody else's ass.
like in Lethal Weapon and like 80s movies when they have a coke
good
deal, they
person.
like pull out a switchblade, like whoosh, they like dab it like the tip in, stick that in your baby's diaper, and you just like
and then like
put it on your
yeah,
tongue, and you're like,
Yeah.
that's
yeah.
right.
That's
That's uncut.
that's definitely
Yeah, it's
shit.
uncut.
All right, we're gonna do this deal.
It's pure
Your
great
kid's just
shit.
like go, gah. You're like, I'll give you $2,400 for that diaper.
I'd leave
Go,
$2,400
gah. You're like,
The
cash on
crib
the
is just loaded.
all right, negotiator. I'll give you $3,600 for that diaper. Okay, I mean, I'm not made of money here. You want $5,000? Just $5,000. That's it. Throw the money down, grab the diaper, and you just run out of the house, eating it.
I gotta
Face
say,
in the
Goo Goo
diaper.
Gaga is a really bad onomatopoeia for a baby. I've never heard a baby say Goo Goo Gaga.
Yeah, every baby around you is just like,
Oh
What
man,
was
he's on
that?
fire, folks.
What was that?
I think I know
put
what
his
it was.
fist. He put his fist in his mouth.
something fist-like.
You're saying my dungus is fist sized?
Compared to a
Hell
baby's
yeah.
head.
I got a little
Only
guy.
compared to a baby's head.
I'll tell you right now, I got a
But
little
you're not
guy.
putting your fist in the baby's mouth, Ryan.
Let's leave it. Yeah. If you catch his drift.
I punch babies all the time, though,
Wink.
and
Gotta
they
do the
they
eyebrow
always
thing
catch
so he
it.
knows
with
you're. Hello, there's a cat. It's Crystal.
it. Jesus.
Adam's like talking
Adam,
to
what's
the
your
cat on
rating?
my screen. He
What's up?
gave it already
Yes.
4 stars.
I think it's 4. I would say 4. Three,
Oh.
3.5, 4. Because yeah, the
Why?
Judge Reinhold shit's kind of bland, but like everything else like works really well.
Big
I like the
one.
New Orleans setting.
Oh,
Uh,
New Orleans.
Oh, I was gonna say, William,
Hmm.
what do you consider this like a almost like an exploitation movie? Like a sex movie?
Of course.
Yeah. It's kind of a cool
Art
version
house.
of it.
It's like art house.
a-
It's an art house exploitation movie.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
would say
Last Tango in Paris
Skinamax.
is.
No, it's better than Skinamax. Give some
Not
credit.
really, but I mean,
It's
this is how we ended up with Skinamax movies because they eventually Hollywood just kind of stopped making these,
Mhm.
and
It's like kind of hard.
there's the biggest one. The big one that I think influenced this one is 9.5 Weeks in the 80s.
Hmm.
Mickey Rourke. He's also in Wild Orchid.
I haven't
There's
heard
this
that.
guy,
I've
Zalman
never heard of
King.
either of those.
Yeah, 9.5
Alan
weeks
King
was like
was an
a
actor. He started
showgirl
making
sort of
sex
movie.
movies, and then he made Red Shoe Diaries on Showtime,
I see.
which was a big sex
Is
That's
that recent?
big
Softcore.
sex show in the 90s.
Porn show.
And
Oh,
David
yeah.
Duchovny was
Is
in
that
it.
the conspiracy
Nice.
about
Oh,
celebrities
that's cool.
adrenochroming kids and they wear red soles on their shoes and that's how you know they're like Ellen DeGeneres sucking
this is
the
all
adrenaline
This is
out
all
of kids.
chronicled in the
Yeah.
Red Shoe Diaries, as read by David Duchovny. So every episode of Red Shoe Diaries, he'd have like a diary of a woman or something, and then you like read it, and then you would see her have it like there'd be a story with like kind of
Is
like
this
Tales from the
true?
Crypt, and it was like people having sex, and then at the end he would read the diary again.
And then there was the episode with Adam.
Yeah,
That was I had the funnest experience. I had the funnest feeling. Or no, that was the Rock's diary.
That's feeling, yeah.
That was the Rock's diary.
well, Adam, there was one episode with Adam He gave it a company Red Adam star rating. He's like, I had the funnest feeling today.
That's such a good start to a sentence.
Wow.
I had the funnest feeling today.
I was pissing on my shrub
There you go.
when my daddy pulled out olive oil and cocaine.
And I said, Dad, I don't want to do drugs. And he goes, you're not.
Then he lubed up my butthole and shoved a Coke bottle up my asshole.
Only the first
Jesus.
part of
Are we
this
just
is
going to
good.
do every call back? And
Wow, that's very
how we dra-
interesting.
that's how we
Great
get through this
story.
episode.
Great story.
Well, all right. You guys did great riffing.
And then,
on
and then
these
my
things.
daddy said, do you smell what the rock is cooking?
This movie did make me really remember that I love Nick Cage.
It's great. Yeah. It makes me want to see more from this era.
Like, I wouldn't even be mad if he fucked my wife. If he
Yeah.
stuck coke up my wife's butt. I'd be more upset about the olive oil. I'd have to look up nutrition, like, to see if that's healthy.
See if it's vegan.
Yeah.
Great question.
I mean, vegans we just don't eat meat or dairy.
You can
we
put anything
meat
in
up
your
our ass. Yes.
Chicken.
Put
That's
meat up your asshole.
You put meat up your butt. I pour
Exclusive
milk.
only meat, though, is the catch. Meat or
and
dairy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like, oh, dude, I'm sucking so much meat up my ass
Yeah.
Dairy, huh?
right now. This whole time we've been
Like
talking.
string cheese?
Yeah. You just
Oh,
eat a little
my
string
God.
cheese into
Cheese
it.
wheel.
Do you
At
do
this
it?
point, I've been
Just
vegan
water
for like
makes you
six
do it.
6 years, a little over 6 years. At this point, I can literally string the cheese with my ass. I don't put it up there whole. Like, you know those psychopaths that eat string cheese, just bite after bite instead of
Yeah.
stringing it? Oh,
Yeah.
I string that with my... Right now, I'm doing it. Hands free.
That's great, man. It's cool.
Adam's like,
So-
I'll give you $2,400 for that string cheese.